North Adelaide looking to cement their place in the final 5 and also the top 3 as they front Port Adelaide at home at Prospect Oval. Conditions pretty heavy. As you can see, the centre patch is muddy. Good crowd, probably 5,000-6,000 people. It's overcast but fine, up towards the half-forward line. Back in a fence, it's Chalmers. Can't get it out quickly now. Off the boot of Klomp, up towards the half-forward line. Working hard northeast. Can't get the ball out. The umpire's coming in to ball it up on the half-forward line. North won the toss, kicking to the left of the screen or to the northern end. It's just got a smidgen of breeze. The sock on the outer side of the ground is not all that full. Ball thumped away, back there towards Klomp at the bottom of the pack. Sims, not a good kick. Klomp again, gives it away. Krieg, up towards full forward, getting back on us, Delaney. Big Parsons had a go at it, but he couldn't control it. And the ball goes out in the full forward left pocket.
So conditions pretty good here at the moment at Prospect Oval. It's certainly not cold. We'll have it thrown in the left forward pocket at the southern end of the oval. And to do the ruck work, it's big Mike Parsons. He took front position. I think Chalmers won the tap, though. He thumped it away. It's taken by Julian Burton. His kick was smothered. It goes high. In fact, it wasn't smothered. The mark was taken by Stephen Barrett, who plays on quickly with a handball. Out towards Perkins. He kicks from 55 metres out. Not a bad-looking kick, but it just fades away. And that is the first score of the game. North Adelaide 1 point. Port Adelaide yet to get on the board, and we've had 2.5 minutes of this first term.
Port Adelaide skipper Greg Phillips pulled out with a groin strain. He's been replaced by Foster. Northeast on the outer side. Back towards centre wing. Out there is David Brown, back from the Crows. Can't control the ball, and it's out at centre wing. North Adelaide lying 4th on the premiership table at the moment. 2 games clear, plus percentage. But they need to get into that top 3. Geneva around the corner. Up towards half forward. Oh, strong dash at the ball, and the umpire's going to come in and ball it up. Solid attack on the ball then by Stephen Williams, as you would expect. Umpire Kevin Chambers and Tim Pfeiffer in charge. Darren Smith can't get it out. Hard work. The oval's very heavy. Geneva fought with a chance now. Half forward line, it slipped over. David Brown, 40 metres out, and he's missed. Well, that was beautifully set up there in the forward division by Abba, but Brown just couldn't make it.
Yes, and he wasn't under a lot of pressure then, and as you mentioned, Abernathy farmed out the handball. Brown had it on the run. Should have been a lay-down goal, but he missed a very easy one. Let's hope it's not costly in the wash-up. The Roosters go forward again, close to the boundary line. It's a nice-looking pass, and it finds Brody Atkinson. Wearing number 47. Atkinson puts it up high. Bennett from behind. Hughes thumps it down. Ball hits the ground. Players on top. Buckley is there, and we'll have a bounce. Brody Atkinson looks like he's just had a haircut. Number 17 is Peter Krieg, 34 Buckley, 7 Kim Klomp, the captain of the Roosters. Bennett wins the tackle, went down to Sims. He was quick. His teammate wasn't as quick though in Mark Marshall. Now Mark Williams gets the handball out towards Hutton. He's got a bit of room to work in. He puts it up high. Brown front position. Hamilton from behind applied the spoil. Loose ball down to Krieg. Good handball back to Barrett. He puts it forward for Archie's there, but the mark's been taken by Burton, who transfers play out wide and finds the running Roger Delaney.
Well, he takes a chance, but he did it well. Delaney, Rowan Smith, centre wing. Out goes Tyler, 1-on-1. Tyler at the back. Almost a mark. The umpire's paid it. Oh, gee, he was the man behind the North Adelaide defender, and Gerke wouldn't like that. He's looking rather quizzically at umpire Chambers, but whatever. It has been paid. We'll let you be the judge.
Well, I reckon play on for mine. I reckon Gerke had a little bit of that. It was hard to tell, but I'm not sure whether he totally controlled it. Gerke got back into the action as the ball was falling down. Nevertheless, Tyler's been paid the mark from about 25 metres out.
81 for the season. Head on to goal. If anything, wind assisted. Nice looking kick. That's his first. Number 82 for the season.
And a nice way for a full forward to start to kick a goal early, and he's done that at the 5-minute mark of this first term. Let's have a look how it happened. It was beautifully set up by Delaney. His pass was pinpoint accurate to find Rowan Smith, who drove in long, and that's what a full forward likes, a one-on-one battle. You can see Tyler had the strength to keep Gerke out, and Well, he had a fair bit of the football. Whether it's a mark, it doesn't matter. The goal's on the board.
Obviously, the umpire will have to ball it up. It's very heavy in that centre square. In fact, the ground is heavier than it looks. You'll find a lot of players will lose their footing before the afternoon is out. And, gee, how would you like to play around in that mud? Not if you're over 5, I wouldn't think. Ball up again. The bodies go in. Redden gets the tap away in towards Sims on the left leg to the half-forward line. Northeast read it best, but lost the handle. Charged Peter Bennett. Oh, rode the buck. The buck was high, but he actually slipped into it. And I'm not really certain what the umpire's going to do. He's going to ball it up. But I think Peter would have expected to get a free kick out of that. Whatever, the umpire's going to bounce it, and that's a good bounce in the conditions. Thrown out by Sims again. Got to work hard for it now. Quickly in there is Sanders. Gets it out to Atkinson, beats one. Slips it away. Here's a chance now for Barrett. Puts it high up towards, was it Craig up towards Parsons? Off the fingers. Oh, he can't find the handle. Parsons goes out. Delaney's in there. Finally, it's Rosonico back after injury. Puts it up to the half-back flank, and it finds Burton.
So a good opening of this game. Julian Burton picks up another possession deep in defence. He puts it out of the danger zone. That was his third kick. It's taken by Mark Williams, who feeds it off to Rowan Smith. Smith around his body. It falls short of Stephen Williams. Good commitment there by Peter Krieg. Body over the football. Brown is there, so too Buckley. That should be a classic battle in the middle, Krieg and Buckley. Brown eventually gets it to Mark Williams. The kick was smothered. Barrett goes forward for the Roosters again. Puts it up high. Players set themselves, but taking the mark quite easily is Paul Rosonico. A very good season in '92. He changes play, and I tell you what, Big Parsons, you'll have to watch this. The plans are very obvious for Delaney to run away from Parsons, and it's happened twice already. Hutton has the football. He drops it in centre field, and Chalmers takes it easy. Whoa! Sims caught one, and there you go. Well, foolish play by the youngster.
Well, I reckon that'll be the first time that Stephen Sims has ever got a free kick for that, and good luck to him.
Well, it was only a clip behind the ear, the second one, but the first one there was some elbow, and it's lucky that one didn't make contact. You'll learn from that. The ball goes forward. Stephen Williams drops what he should have eaten. The crumbs are picked up by Hamilton. One gets the feeling this is going to be a crackerjack game. Good turn of speed by Mark Marshall as he drives it in long, and the mark's taken by Chalmers, and he'll keep his arms down this time. Chalmers out wide. Rowan Smith. Sanders is going to have to watch this. He's well clear on the outer side. Kick number 4, Rowan Smith, in towards the half-forward line. Aber makes a dash. Northeast off the deck. Hamilton should be at centre wing. Reads it well, slips it back to Redden, gets it back in the double play. Or ran himself into trouble. Well done, Peter Krieg. Down Noonan. Gives it away, Mancini. Puts it up towards full forward. Delaney against Parsons. The big fellow's there now. He's got nowhere to go. Gets it back to Klomp. Klomp slips it out. Charge Atkinson. Hooks around the corner. I think he's got it. Oh, what a goal. Oh, that was a beauty. Gee, they were pinned away. They just kept working. Eventually, it was the handball from Klomp that set up the opportunity for Atkinson. But have a look at that. Big Parsons gave Delaney a push in the back. Then he did a bit of toe-tapping to push the ball forward. Eventually, it was Klomp, a very educated hand pass. But have a look at this for a snapshot. That is a genuine Rovers goal. The Roosters get their first and tie away the ball game. At the ball up. Red against Chalmers. Mark Williams grovelling for it, did it well. Redden can't get it out. Noonan in there. Ball held to that player. And the umpire will have to come and ball it up. Port Adelaide on top. 14 wins, 2 losses. North in 4th spot. 9 wins and 7 losses. Stephen Williams. Half forward line, looks for a runner. Brother Mark comes past. The kick is not all that good. Hamilton cuts it off. He lost it. Thrown away now. Here's a chance as Perkins gave it back to Hamilton. He lost it. Port Adelaide going hard for the footy. Williams. Perkins over the top is ball A's. Williams in there as well. Gives it away. Jennifer. Smith over the top. Tyler got his second. Close. He got it. Oh, gee, he must have been on a tightrope then. Well, he fell over the line, but he booted his second. Clever play by the Magpies, and they set up that goal beautifully. Let's have a look at it here. Perkins at the bottom of the pack. Trying to work the ball out there was Big Chalmers. Then Williams got the handball out to Jennifer. Jennifer went over the top to Darren Smith. Unselfish play, and that handball was centimetre perfect. Have a look where Tyler was standing. He made sure he didn't place the boot over the line. He's kicked his second, and the Magpies have the lead.
got our happy umpire again. The ball up centre field. Chalmers against Red. Redden's tap. Aerial ping pong. Noonan takes it to the outer side. Northeast in front of his opponent. Hooks around the corner. In the way is Stephen Barrett. Almost in centre wing. He's asked to play on now as he wheels around. Up towards Bennett. One hand, couldn't complete it. He's got the football, gives it away. Mark Marshall tumbles the ball around. Rezonago reads it best. And he's got a good mark in defence.
As I mentioned before, he's had a very good season in 92. He's been a steady player. Delaney's having a good first term. He drives it into Buckley, who has been a real star. In fact, he's been the star of the SANFL in 1992. Abernathy, one of the veterans, drops in a short pass and he finds Darren Smith easily. Smith set up the last goal for the Pies. He goes short into Stephen Williams. Should sit and does. He virtually threw that one away. Hutton looks for the free kick and rightly receives one. Loose tackle by Marshall. David Hutton puts it out to the pocket and Daisy Borlays takes the mark. Left a kick from outside 50 and he's too far out, but have a look at that for a pass. He's found David Brown. Brown missed one in the opening minutes on the run from about 30 metres out. This will be his second kick. He's a left footer. It's a set shot. Pretty hard to tell what the breeze is doing here at Prospect Oval. If anything, perhaps favouring the southern end. The distance should not be a problem. It's a wobbly old kick, and I think the distance was a problem. Well, maybe it's a bit deceptive, Daisy.
I don't think he got onto it, Kim. It was a bit of a tumble punt. But it should be kicking into the breeze down there if my fortunes on the golf course this morning was correct. But the wind was going to rotate from southwest to northwest, I think. Peter Bennett can't make it. Throw in at centre wing. See, it's a good crowd, as befitting two teams in the top 5. Port Adelaide and North obviously going to make the final 5. Aerial ping pong. Mancini can't marshal. He's unloaded by Brown. The umpire's going to give him a free kick for in the back. And North got a chance to go in. They're down by 7 points. As Kim said, Delaney's going to run off Parsons all afternoon if they don't watch it. Now, Parsons is going to get a leaf at this one in the middle of the pack. Out comes Mark Mancini. Oh, Greg. Oh, Sanders, perfect handball. Atkinson, point-blank range. Boots his second, brilliantly set up. And North closed to within 1 point.
Well, goal for goal here at the Prospect Oval at the moment, and Brody Atkinson has kicked 2 beauties. That one a little more regimental than the previous, which was a sensational snap, but here it is. It was set up by Mancini, then Sanders came through the pack. Atkinson, all by himself, had time to steady, and little number 47, the former reserves Magarey medalist, banged that one through, and as Ian mentioned, there's only 1 point the difference.
Brody Atkinson, I would think he's chalking up a few points in the Magarey medal. And of course, you'll see that on Channel 9 later on in the season. Marshall, Piazzi, lost it. North Adelaide swarming around. Well done, Krieg. Noonan, oh, he's under pressure now. Lost it. Piazzi did it well. Rowan Smith on his lonesome again. He's got time to have a look. Kick number 5 through the centre wing. He'll put it in long, looking for Tyler. Out he comes, and he's got the football. Gerke was edged out. It was brilliantly done by Tyler. And he's got a chance to boot his third from about the 45-50 metre mark. The Port Adelaide hierarchy. Ryan Fairclough, the reserves coach. But the eyes are on number 24. Kick number 3. Is it goal number 3? Gee, he got under that one a little bit. He might not have made the distance. Yes, he has. Goal 3.
Well, I mentioned before, a full forward likes to get one on the board early. He kicked 1 at the 5-minute mark. Now he has 3 before the 15-minute mark. We've only had 14 minutes. Noonan was the man that lost possession for the Roosters. It was a nasty turnover because Piazzi got the ball straight out to Rowan Smith. He had time to touch the ball on the ground twice. He's a beautiful kick, Rowan Smith. He put it out in front or just behind Tyler. In fact, Gerke took front position. Tyler ran him underneath the football. And then Mark Tyler booted his 3rd goal.
At the centre, ball up. North has taken the ball out of the centre square on all 4 occasions. Not this time. Abernathy around the corner towards Williams. Brown has the run. He's got Bradley Ryan to beat. He did it well. Gives a chance. Williams. Buckley, who hasn't had a sniff yet, wants it. Jennifer's got it. Hooks around the corner. Gerke comes to meet it. He's going to have to work hard. Called to play on. Barrett back in defence. Gerke through. They bottle up the ball, clumped at the bottom of the pack, and surely the umpire, geez, letting it go. But now he's going to have to come and ball it up 30 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal.
And we see Mickey Noonan just disappearing to the right of screen in the bunker there. Team manager Peter Whitwell, the grey-haired gentleman. He was my team manager in the under-17s for North Adelaide. He's been a great club man for the Roosters as Bradley Ryan clears out to the outer side and fights Brody Atkinson. Atkinson having a very good first term. I agree with you, Daisy. We've had just over 15 minutes. Buckley's only had one kick. But it's early stages yet, and I'm sure he'll assert his skills on this game before the day's out. Mancini puts the ball forward, and Parsons takes the mark. Play on the call. Well, he didn't have front position, so it was obviously touched. And the mark's taken, the ball's taken by Abernathy. He puts it out wide, and Northeast just casually claims that mark. I mentioned before it wasn't that cool here at the Prospect Oval. It's just starting to come in a little chilly, though. And the flags are starting to flutter a little more enthusiastically. The ball hits the ground. Smith also having a very good turn. That's Rowan Smith. Gets another kick away. Big Mick Redden has to work hard. Has to get the handle away. Goes straight to Buckley. Kick number 2 around his body. Gets plenty of distance. Tyler's there again. So too Gerke. It's a race for pace. It's picked up by Brown. He's picked another one. Brown has his first. And Port Adelaide have 4.
Well, Gerke was a little unlucky. It was one of those awkward ones. He had to go to meet it. Right there with him was Tyler. Big Mick Redden wouldn't like that. He gave it straight away with a handball to Buckley. Now watch the bounce. Gerke went to meet it. Couldn't control it. The back of the pack, it was Brown with a pace. Hamilton couldn't catch him, and gee, that's not a bad snapshot. He boots his first. Port Adelaide have got 4, and they've also got a 13-point advantage.
Yes, the Pies have doubled North Adelaide's score. 4-2 plays 2-1. The ball thrown up again. Redden wins the tap and went straight down to Krieg. He couldn't control it. In there is Ginniver. Very muddy there in the middle of the Prospect Oval. Of course, that area used as a cricket pitch during the summer months, and it gets very soft when we have a lot of wet weather. The handball from Marshall is good out towards Krieg. Krieg puts it up high, setting himself. Burton couldn't take it. Hughes is playing at centre-half back. Phillips has been a late withdrawal from the side, and Foster's come into the team. Buckley picks up kick number 3, finds David Hutton all by himself. Touches the ball on the ground, straightens the body, drives it in long. Williams is there, couldn't take it. Saunders came in from the side. Now in there under pressure, looked like Perkins, I think that was. Managed to get it away. Barrett. Hamilton is there, gets another handball. He tries to get it out to Sims. A little bit of confusion between the Roosters. Good commitment there. That must have been Clomp the way he jumped on the ball. We'll find out in a moment. Yes, it was the captain. The visit to the tribunal earlier in the week, and he was cleared of any wrongdoings. Much to the displeasure of the Norwood Football Club by all reports. Big thump away, goes straight down to Hutton. He puts it up, one-on-one battle. Good fist away by Gerke. Taken by Smith, snaps around the body, and that's bounced through. They pick 5.
Darren Smith boots his first. Port Adelaide starting to look really dangerous now as they attack that northern goal. I think the wind has probably sprung up a bit, as Kim told you, although you look at the flags and the windsock, you've got no idea where it's going. But whatever, this is a good snapshot for a big man. Luck's of fortune, the bounce went with him. He popped it through. He's got 1 and Port's got 5, and they lead 5-2 to 2-1.
Back in the centre, and we have a 19-point advantage to the Magpies. Redden wins another tap. This time Northeast tried to kick it off the ground. Getting the handball away was Mancini. It goes in turn out towards Sims. Oh, he gave it straight towards Ginniver. The 2 number 2s do battle. Sims back in there though. Clever work. Got it out towards Sanders. In turn to Clomp. Now over the top. I think that was Atkinson out towards Krieg. He drives it in long, and the mark's been taken by Delaney. Doing a fantastic job. Delaney drops in a short pass and finds Ginniver. Ginniver in turn, out towards Hughes. The Magpies looking pretty solid at the moment. Setting himself Smith, big fist away by Perkins. Smith backhands that one out towards Abernathy. Abber's playing on a half-forward flank at the moment. His handball went straight towards Sanders. In turn out to Bradley Ryan. He drops a wobbly one forward. First time we've seen Burton. Can he control it? Tackled by Burton. And a free kick, or deliberate, out of the bounds.
He didn't have a lot of options there. It was 3-on-1. Going towards the line, but the umpire didn't see it that way. Northeast at centre wing, having a good first quarter. That awkward kicking action. Mark Williams on his lonesome. North are going to have to start picking up players as he drives in long up towards the half-forward line. Borlase can't. Getting back on its Hamilton. Out comes Borlase. Smith, 30 out, can run forever. Puts it on its way. That's his second. Port Adelaide careering away at the 20-minute mark of the first quarter.
Well, I take back what I said about looking like it was going to be a close game. Port Adelaide are just running riot at the moment. In the last 15 minutes, it has been all the Magpies. Borlase couldn't control it. The secret of Port Adelaide at the moment, they're running and they have numbers at the fall of the ball. Borlase got back in there, worked hard. Smith was there for support. The handball was accurate. So too was the kick. Darren Smith's kicked his second. As Daisy mentioned, Port have kicked 6.
At the ball up 6-2 to 2-1. The umpire will have to come and ball that up again. We've been advised by the cameramen, who are certainly out in the wind, and they can tell us. I wouldn't think it's going around them, it'll be going straight through, but they confirm that it is favouring the northern end, and that is the end to which Port is kicking. Marshall, good tackle by Geneva. Called to play on. In fact, he was pinged for holding the ball, but play to advantage, and that's a fine Mark Hamilton. Mark Williams was the player that put it into attack. Plus 50 metres against David Brown.
And just on that, Breeze, Daisy, if we look at the flags now, it really has picked up in the last 10 or 15 minutes. So maybe North Adelaide not doing such a bad job.
I'd agree with that. Hamilton towards the half-forward line. Bennett's got to start getting into the action off the fingers. Geneva against Noonan. Hughes. A free kick will go to Geneva for hanging on, and he'll get it at centre-half back. Geneva gets a running play on Rosonico. That's the way he'll go. Didn't really come back over his mark. I can never really work out how the umpires worked that one out. Nathan Buckley would have to be odds-on favourite for the 1992 Magarey medal. Certainly in my book. Puts out the pass and well put to Chalmers. Just a check side of the centre line. Thought about Geneva. Once again, Delaney's run-offs. The big fella, Michael Parsons, but this time they've missed out. Well done, Sanders. Gives it away to Mancini. Gets it back in the double play. Through the half-forward line. Out comes Burton. No, he can't half-volley that one. He's lost it. Delaney under pressure. Threw it away. Williams gets it there from Fiarchi. And Port Adelaide out of trouble. Oh, North are in trouble now. Off goes Northeast to the half-forward line. They've got runners everywhere. Williams gives it away to Borlase. Borlase 40 out. Over the top to Darren Smith. Open goal, number 3. Oh, Port Adelaide, oh, so easy. From go to woe. And they've got 7 on the board.
And the Magpies are using the ball superbly. Darren Smith has kicked 3 goals from 3 kicks, but it's just the way they're setting up the plays at the moment. Northeast with that awkward kicking style, and that was more awkward than usual, but he found Abernathy. He got the handball over the top to Williams. Borlase probably would have kicked this, but he drew the player. That went over the top to Smith. He's giving Perkins an absolute hiding at the moment, and Darren Smith has kicked his 3rd goal, and Mark Tyler's also kicked 3 from 3, so the 2 forwards with 100% strike rate.
Darren Smith, 3 goals in 5 minutes, 7-2 to 2-1. Port Adelaide have eked out a big lead. A great handball out there by Geneva into the path of Williams. Hutton can't find the handle. Atkinson trying to stem the tide, puts the ball to the half-forward line. Bennett's up there. Hughes over the top, slings out the handball in hope more than anything. Geneva, Hutton, the running play, Fiarchi. Great tackle put on him there by Noonan, and the umpire says the ball will be put back into play at centre wing.
And we've had 24 minutes of the first term, and this next 4 or 5 minutes could be crucial to both sides. Big chance for Port Adelaide to nearly stitch up this game, even though it's only the first term. They're leading by 5-1 at the moment. But Hamilton with the football gives it over towards Sanders, having a big battle out there with Rowan Smith. Smith on top at this stage, passes front position. This time he takes the mark. Delaney not happy. But I tell you what, if Mike Parsons can get in front with a half-metre advantage and also his height advantage, no one can stop him.
The worry that I see it, and I agree with that comment, but each time the ball has gone up there in the air, there hasn't been a small North Adelaide player to get the ball off hands. They're being dragged upfield. Now, he's got to have someone up there to support him when the ball hits the deck.
Let's see if he can put this one through. His side needs it. And what's he done? He has pushed it to the right. So he'd be disappointed with that. Delaney's done a real job on him in this first term, and Parsons had an opportunity to bounce back, couldn't do so.
They needed a breather. Delaney Beautifully put to the outer side. Aber can't get over. Goes for the kick off the ground, and he's put it out on the full. The penalty free will go to Peter Bennett, or will it be Stephen Barrett on the outer side? It'll finish up with Barrett. Barrett puts it up for grabs once more. Parsons in the middle. Delaney over the top. A sensational mark. Gives it away to Brown. On the run is Hutton. Williams in support. Needs a set. Well done, Mark Williams, for the Shepherd as he goes to the half-forward line. Stephen Williams. Now it's one-on-one. Smith thought about Buckley. Puts it up for Smith again. Perkins there. The back of the pack is Geneva. Gets it out to Hutton on his left leg. This will test him. Not a bad effort. Oh, but it's well taken by Gerke in defence.
And that was kick number 7 for David Hutton. Just caught on that left boot though and couldn't hook it back. And now Gerke's put that one out on the full. So he's not having a big first term. He's had 3 kicked on him already. Kick number 4 for Darren Smith, and that's a beauty to find Daryl Borlase. Daisy Borlase off to a slow start this season, but he's certainly back in the thick of things. In the latter half of the year, he's been in very good form. Lines them up, the boy from the West Coast, and he drills it through for his first. And Port Adelaide have now kicked 8, and we've had 1 minute of time on.
When you have a look at the Magpie attack, it's pretty potent. They've got Tyler at full forward, Smith at centre half forward, and how's that for a pass? Beautifully to Borlase, and Borlase has kicked 34 for the season, as I mentioned earlier. Tyler's now got 84, so they're pretty well manned up front, and at the moment North Adelaide are getting a shellacking. They're down by 36 points.
2-2 plays 8-2. The Magpies leading by 6 clear goals, and having a run in the ruck now. I'll try and pick up who that is. Certainly not Mike Redden, but the mark's been taken by Hamilton. The handball goes out towards Bradley Ryan. He drives it in long, and taking the mark there is Mark Marshall. In fact, it was Soderstrom having a run in the ruck, number 8. And he's the young lad playing his first league game for the Roosters. The ball hits the ground. Atkinson, whoa, I'm not sure if that one did go out. It's pretty close anyway. Atkinson has a little look towards the boundary umpire. I think they'll be happy for this first term to end, the Roosters. Yes, they can jag one whilst they have it in their attacking zone. Good hands, Atkinson to Burton, in turn to Noonan, lines up the goals. Parsons front position, but that one's forced over by Delaney. The Roosters get a point, and they now trail 15 points to 50.
What a tremendous first quarter by the Magpies. Delaney puts it out again for Rowan Smith. The umpire prematurely paid the mark. The North crowd not happy about it. Oh, well smothered, allowed to play on. Chance David Sanders. Parsons out in front. Delaney over the top. Parsons almost couldn't bring it down. Rosonico. Cool. Fiacci thought about Abernathy. Goes to that player. Tumbles a punt kick up towards the half-forward line. But Stephen Barrett's in the row. North Adelaide not faring well in attack at the moment. Certainly not as well as Port Adelaide. That's evident from what's on the board. Well done, Julian Burton. The lad improves week by week on the half-back line. Now, he thought about a handball, but he'll go back to kick long. Danny Hughes, with the experience, is just telling the lad to kick it to the half-forward line. That he does. Borlase over the top. Can't bring it in. Noonan gives it away to Hamilton. Out wide, and now is Mancini 1-on-2. Has to stand his ground. Well done there, Northeast. Gives it back towards Rosonico, but the umpire will come and ball it up on the half-forward line of North Adelaide.
28 and a half minutes into this first term. North Adelaide 2-3, Port Adelaide 8-2. Stephen Barrett doing a good job. He's on ball ace at the moment. He's kicked just a 1 goal, but Barrett's had 7 kicks from his half-back flank. But mind you, the ball's been down in the North Adelaide defensive area for most of this term. Taken by Sanders, that appeared to be. Now Mancini with the football. He goes towards goal. It's going across the face, and that man again, Delaney, has it. And he runs away from Parsons. And I would imagine Big Bristle, Big Mike Parsons, would be getting pretty frustrated at the moment, because Delaney is doing a real job on him. That is 5 marks for Roger Delaney.
Especially, Tim, as I said, there's no one there to help him, and so Delaney's just going to run off.
Exactly. And he just hasn't got the leg power to keep up with him as Marshall puts the ball forward. Sims underneath it. Fiacci back there. That'll be a good battle while Sims is resting. Fiacci wins out. Applying the tackle is Sims on Hughes. The ball goes back to Burton, having a pretty useful first term. He drops it in towards Buckley. And Krieg's done a good job of keeping Buckley fairly quiet in his first term. But Smith has the football. I knew Buckley's picked up 6 kicks after getting off to a very quiet start for the first 15 minutes. He just runs all day. Now Smith will kick this from about 60 metres out, but he does have the breeze. Is he trying a torpedo? It looks like he may be. He does. Does he get onto it? Not a bad looking kick, but didn't make the distance. So, at the end of the first term, North Adelaide trail badly. 2 goals, 3-15. For the Magpies, 8-2-50. You're on Nine's Whitewater Sports. Sun shining at the Prospect Oval, the start of the second term. North Adelaide trailing 2-3. The Magpies leading 8-2, a 35-point lead to the Magpies as Geneva puts the ball up high. Barrett from behind, fists it away from Abernathy. Sanders tried to get the handball away. Barrett in there again. Eventually that looked like Nick Holland got the handball out. In turn goes to Sims. He puts it over the top towards Mancini. He's got northeast clothing. He gets the handball over the top. Fiarchi back there. Soccers it off the ground. Now Bennett working hard. In there Mancini again. Fiarchi holding the football. And the umpire calls that a dead heat. And talking about umpires officiating today are Kevin Chambers and Tim Pfeiffer. So did a pretty good job in the first term. But that breeze really turned around and started to blow. And I can't believe these flags. Now it looks like it's dropped off a little bit. Atkinson has the mark. He's also kicked 2 goals in that first term and perhaps was North Adelaide's best player along with Stevie Barrett in defence. So little Brody Atkinson. Playing his 47th game for the club, and that's the number he wears. He's kicked 48 goals, plus 2 today, so he's kicked 50 goals in his career, and this will be kick number 5, and a chance for his 3rd. Let's hope he kicks it. Gets underneath it a little bit, and he's hit the post. Well, you can't get much closer.
Something that North didn't need. They need goals, and they need them quickly. We believe they are kicking with the breeze, despite the flags going one way and the sock another. Buckley out on his lonesome. Possession number 8 as he got time to have a look. Directs play towards the half-forward line. Stephen Williams there against Rod Saunders. In goes Krieg, showing a lot of courage, but the umpire will ball it up centre wing on the outer side. 8-2 to 2-4. Smith 3 goals, Tyner 3 goals in that opening quarter. Spells a lot of pain for North Adelaide at the moment. But they've got their turn with the breeze, and they've got to do something to keep the game alive. Mark Williams burrows in for it, gets it to brother Stephen. He's got a runner out wide. That's Hutton through the half-forward line. He's got Bradley Ryan to beat. Lost it. Saunders back in defence, working hard for the football. In there with him is Mark Marshall, but the umpire will have to ball it up inside the 50. Port attacking into the breeze. Nine's Wide World of Sports at Unley Oval for the big one. Going through Borlase. Oh, he got through far too quickly. We'll say that Prospect Oval. I was close to being right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. What's going on there? Port Adelaide free kick. Well, it's going the way, I believe, of... was it going to Tyler? No, David Hutton's going to get the free kick. Kim, I must admit I didn't see it.
Well, there was a bit of pushing and shoving there. I think it may have been for in the back, but we'll have to wait and have a look at the replay. And David Hutton an opportunity, and this would be a severe blow for the Roosters if he kicks this.
David Hutton puts his first and slips another nail into the North Adelaide defence. David Hutton down from centre wing. We'll have a look at it in replay. We might be able to pick up what the free kick was all about. In comes Hutton. Well, he made a dash at the ball, and the umpires obviously ruled that Gerke grabbed Hutton as he's going past, hanging on, and the free kick went to the Port Adelaide wing.
And a pretty ordinary free kick at that, with the advantage of the replay. A very soft one, so Port Adelaide a little lucky there. But North Adelaide will have to work hard now. They're on 2-4. Port Adelaide 9-2, and the Magpies have managed to kick a quick one into the breeze. Loose ball off the ground. It's kicked by Mark Williams, taken by Buckley. He puts it up high. Test of courage for Perkins. Nearly got there. Has the football, crashes his way through. The handball goes back out towards Saunders. He in turn gives it to Bradley Ryan. They've worked that out beautifully, and the ball ends up with Perkins. Has a bounce. Make that 2. Thinks about 3, decides to kick, and now he's put it into his attacking zone. Up high there, trying to claim that was Burton. He couldn't. Loose ball on the ground. Danny Hughes is there. Northeast gets a kick away. Mark Williams over the top of it. Couldn't get an effective handball away. Mancini tries to punch it forward. Sanders did that well to Krieg. Puts in a floating kick. Good work by Rezonico to punch it away. Fiacci, great vision to see Delaney. Now Delaney picks up another kick. He's having a very good game, and he finds Buckley, who is starting to get away from Krieg somewhat. Buckley with a long kick. It's a feature of his game. Puts it up to Smith. Perkins is tightening up on that player. But we'll have a throw in around the grandstand wing here at the Prospect Oval at the 5-minute mark of the second term.
North Adelaide can't find a winner in attack. They're going to have to if they want to get back into this game. Port Adelaide defence too strong. Still too strong for most clubs. Oh, that's a Russell handball, Ebert by Smith. He did it well up in front of the running Abbott, using his body brilliantly. Barrett there as well. The ball underneath him. He's going to have to work hard to get rid of this. But the umpire's giving him the benefit of the doubt that he did try to get rid of it, and will ball it up about 25 metres out. 9-2 plays 2-4. Sorry scoreboard for the home side. Darren Smith hooks it in high. It's going to be short, higher than longer. Gerke thumps it clear. The ball finally comes out there to Hamilton. No, Sims it was. In turn, Perkins. Bennett couldn't. Ginniver gives it back to Hughes. Tumbles one around the corner. Perkins comes to meet it, or is that Soderstrom? That's the new boy. Port Adelaide have got a player on too, and it looks to be, no, Buckley's out there. Pick that up for you in a second. Sims throws it out. Gerke's going to have to walk hard, gives it away to Marshall, and tumbles one back up towards centre wing.
David Hutton having a good game of football. Hooks this one back. He saw Rowan Smith and he found him perfectly. Smith thought about playing on, but keeping him honest there is Nick Holland, number 26. Just searching out there, Dozy. I'm not sure if Soderstrom is out there at the moment, but then again I can't see Mike Redden as well, and he would be there somewhere. And that is the distance, and that is another goal to the Magpies. They've kicked 2 in 7 minutes, and we'll try and pick up where those two players are. And
Soderstrom's coming back through centre half back now, Kim. He's walking number 26, is it?
No, 26 is Nick Holland.
Holland.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we've seen Soderstrom. I gave you that player as Soderstrom earlier on, but obviously that's not the new boy from Fitzroy. No, that's Nick Holland having a run in ruck if he's wearing number 26. I didn't think Nick Holland was that tall. Obviously he is.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to pick up Michael Redden. Nevertheless, North Adelaide 2-4, Port Adelaide 10-2. We'll keep an eye and update you on that as the Roosters try and go forward through Mark Marshall. So it's definitely Holland that's in the ruck, and was that player in the first term, as Ian mentioned, and I can't see Redden. So let's hope he's not injured, but he does appear to be off the ground at the moment, which is not a healthy sign for the Roosters, as if they haven't got enough problems at this stage of proceedings. 7.5 minutes into the second term. 2-4 plays 10-2. And if the Roosters aren't careful, this could be a whitewash. And that doesn't happen too often on their home ground. The handball goes out towards Sanders. He gets the kick away. Meeting it solidly there was Hughes. And Atkinson stood his ground, and he's been rewarded with a free kick for a trip. But he may be hurt, the youngster.
Oh, yes, he took that in the wrong spot. Michael Redden's got to be out there somewhere. I still can't find him. But as we understand it, he's not on the bench. Maybe he's standing in the forward pocket. But we'll just have a look at Brodie Atkinson trying to get back some breath into his stomach.
Well, the other alternative, Daisy, is he's gone down into the dressing rooms, which would be even worse for the Roosters. But I can't see him out there on the field at all at the moment. And it will be Brodie Atkinson to kick from about right on the 50-metre line. In fact, just behind it, a metre behind it. He gets underneath the ball a fair bit, puts it up high. Big fist away from Hughes. Loose ball comes out towards northeast. He gets the clearing kick, but it goes straight to Peter Bennett. And I'm convinced now, I'll put my last dollar on it. Redden's definitely not there. He's not in the bunker, so problems for Michael Redden and North Adelaide. The ball is, a handball comes out to Burton and Mancini to Parsons, gets the snapshot away. It's not a good one. Atkinson is there again, so too Hughes. The ball out of play in the right forward pocket, northern end of the Prospect Oval. And we've had 8 minutes of this second term. And North Adelaide in huge trouble.
You're not wrong. It's desperate if they lose Michael Redden. Oh, here's a chance now. Noonan. Well, he went into an open goal, gave it straight to Delaney, and Delaney boots it back to Buckley. Buckley sweeps it out wide. Fiacci, the running player out there. Hutton further. Oh, geez, got a vacant paddock. heads towards the half-forward line. Ball A's. Hutton wants it back, but no, he'll go longer. Comes across to the running Aber. Aber makes a metre. Through the half-forward line, takes his 10, puts it on its way, and he's gold! Super stuff, Aber. Port Adelaide have got 10. 11 make that.
Oh, the veteran, Bruce Abernathy, he's pretty pleased with that performance. He punched the air in jubilation. Let's have a look how it happened. It was Fiachi who put it out wide to David Hutton, who's beating Mark Marshall. There's the kick. It's a short one, goes in towards Ball Ace. Now have a look at this for pinpoint accuracy. He did not change stride here, Abernathy. In fact, he had to really push to get there, but he made the ground. He ran his full 15 and then just went bang. He could have had a bounce if he wanted, but he measured the kick beautifully, kicked his first goal.
11-2 to 2-4. How sorry does that scoreboard look if you're a North Adelaide supporter? Saunders comes to meet it, couldn't find the handle, swept out there to Ball A's by Stephen Williams. He shoots for goal. I think that's close. You don't get him any closer. He's got another one. Kick 5, goal 1, and Port Adelaide have got 12.
Well, I'm not sure what Mickey Noonan can do, but they have to do something. They've got to stop the ball from going out of the centre square, but they are getting belted at the moment in a big way. They trail by nearly 10 goals, and have a look at that. Ball A's kicked his second, only just made the distance, but that's all they have to do. And Port Adelaide just careering away here at the 10-minute mark of the second term.
Oh boy, what an exhibition. 12-2 plays 2-4 at the ball up. Holland against Chalmers. Holland gets the tap there to Noonan. Out wide. Burton on his lonesome or lost it for the moment. Gives a chance to Bennett. On his wrong foot, but he hooks it around looking for Mancini. Mancini's going to get a free kick. And I don't think Paul Northeast was all that happy about it. Paul, you should be more charitable. You've got a 10-goal lead. But if you're Port Adelaide player, obviously you want to make that a 20-goal lead. Hughes playing well on Peter Bennett, the centre-half back. Bounces one round to Buckley. Grandstand side. The Port Adelaide star has time to have a look. Kicks long. Looking for Darren Smith. Can't bring it down. Goes to the line for a throw-in. And it's out on the half-forward right flank. 12-2 plays 2-4. 12 minutes into the second quarter.
And there's the man with enormous problems at the moment. He would not be pleased. He likes a challenge, and he would have been looking forward to this game on their home turf. But he's down the barrel by nearly 10 goals at the moment. Holland wins the tap, and he's got his ace ruckman in Mick Redden. He had a pretty quiet season in 92. He's got him off the ground completely. Abernathy takes the football. Oh, just weaves his way through to defence, gets the kick away. Out there first is Gerke. That'll be his first real clear possession, and he drives it onto the waiting hands of Atkinson. He in turn gives it to Sanders. They need some quick goals. They've got to get within touch before half-time, or she's all over as Mancini takes the mark. He read that well in flight. We use the other kicks as a measuring stick from the North Adelaide side. He may just struggle, but he does have the breeze behind him. Let's see how good he is. Kick number 6 from about 54 metres out at full short. Parsons is there. Ball loose at the back of the pack. Dribbles over the line, and a minor score is the result. So North Adelaide move along to 2-5. Port Adelaide 2-2, and we've had 12 minutes of this second term.
Port Adelaide's custodian in control. He's not in control, however, of the flag waiver, and he'll have to go back and repeat his kick in. Rules the rules, although it's a bit of an anti-climax when the ball's got to go back 60 or 70 metres for repeat action. 12-2 to 2-5. Shades of the grand final in recent times when Port annihilated North, allowing them only 1 goal, kicked by Craig Burton. Don't know that Craig's had a kick this afternoon yet. Delaney goes in, not a kick. Here's a chance for big Michael Parsons against Delaney on the outer side. Parsons does it well, but lost it. Holland gives it back to Parsons. Now a chance, David Sanders. Sanders puts it up for grab. Atkinson's looking at it, showed a lot of courage. Out goes Rosonico. Burton tries to get it out. He can't do so. And the umpire comes and ball it up on the half-forward line.
Yes, Craig Burton, you were right, Daisy. No kicks, but he's had 2 handballs, but along with most of the North Adelaide forward line, he's been very quiet.
At the bounce, Bennett. Only came as far as Rowan Smith. That's a good handball to Julian Burton. Hutton was running, doesn't want him. Kicks long, does it well. Big leap at the back, Mark Williams. Saunders can't get out, and the umpire will have to ball it up.
14 minutes into the second term. North Adelaide 2-5-17, being thrashed by Port 12-2-74. Would be a comeback bigger than Lazarus if they could get back from here. Not sure if they can. Perkins puts out the pass. Northeast front position. You can't beat it. Mancini tried hard, but once the frame of Paul Northeast took that front position, that ball was always going to be his. Not a lot of movement at the moment for the Pies. Now Darren Smith raises the hand and more or less says kick it this way, but the ball doesn't go in that direction. And a free kick will go the way of Hamilton. Stephen Hamilton playing in defence this afternoon. Puts it out looking for Bennett. Danny Hughes done a pretty good job on that player. Atkinson with pace. He's been North Adelaide's best player by far, along perhaps with Stephen Barrett, as I mentioned earlier. Now Fiarchi gets the handball away. It goes to Klomp. He's been very quiet. And Klomp gets a free kick. Not a lot in that one at all. This will only be his second kick, and he's had 5 handballs.
Kim, I don't think that Kim Klomp's all that well. I was watching him run down centre wing a little while ago, and he's struggling. I reckon he's carrying something.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the captain. He's too far out to score. Parsons underneath that. He's having to jump against 2 players, which isn't making his job any easier. Rosonico cleverly. Gee, they're playing with a lot of confidence, Port Adelaide. And a bullet-like pass to Owen Smith, which he dropped. But they have the numbers again. Brown is there. Tried to tap it out to Buckley. It's taken by Krieg. Delaney sets himself. So too Parsons. Couldn't take it. Atkinson where a rover should be. But he just couldn't snap truly. But by gee, he's trying hard.
He's about their only attacking avenue at the moment. Just watching Kim Klomp sprint across the ground now to chase Julian Burton, who's giving the lead. He's starting to drag, that's for certain. He can't go with Burton. Out there, Peter Bennett's going with him. Now look at Kim Klomp to the left of your screen there. He's having trouble. He gets it knacked from Bennett. Now can he break the tackle? On the left leg, he puts it up in towards the half-forward line. Too far. Buckley got out of that far too easily as he drives back to Hutton. And he takes the mark, check side of centre wing on the outer side. Hutton gets Stephen Williams running. He's going out there, kick number 11. Gee, after an even first quarter, he's really got on top of Peter Krieg. Stephen Williams at centre wing. And we see Buckley coming up grandstand side here to create the loose man. Smith got him sighted, but all of a sudden Krieg's back to cover him. Gives it away to Buckley, short, in towards Abbott, and he's taken a slip catch. Well, as Kim said before, he had to make a metre as he's going through the half-forward line. And you also almost thought he's going to bust a hamstring getting through there. Likewise that one, but gee, that's a great mark.
He really looks like he's enjoying himself today.
Puts it up, gee, that's not a bad-looking kick. That's awfully close. Oh, close again, it's a goal. Abernathys second, and Port Adelaide on 13.
Well, as a neutral observer, I suppose you just have to sit back now and appreciate the football Port Adelaide's playing. It doesn't appear like it's going to be a close game by any stretch of the imagination, so one should just sit back and, as I mentioned, enjoy the skills of Port Adelaide, and there were 2 of them there. Firstly, the pass from Ball Ace, then the diving mark to Abernathy, and then especially the way he finished that one off from deep in that left forward pocket at the southern end of Prospect Oval. North are getting belted.
13-2 to 2-6, and North kicking with the breeze. What can they do about it now? Chalmers smothered. Smith puts it out in front of Geneva. Nice looking pass to the lead of Abba. Gee, he's in fine form. Comes back on the left leg, goes long to the half-forward line. In there is Smith. North with a chance. Parsons having a run on the ball. Gives a chance to Saunders. He goes long the half-forward line. Who's home back there? Fiarchi's going to have to work hard. Bennett through. Coming to meet it is Holland. Gives it away. Atkinson. Sims 30 out. They've got to get a goal this time. And at last, North Adelaide put number 3 on the board. But gee, it's taken them forever.
Yes, 18 minutes to be exact. 18 minutes to kick their first goal in their second term, and they have the breeze. Let's have a look how it happened. Holland went through the handball to Atkinson. He in turn put that over to Sims, which set up the goal. Sims all by himself, all the time in the world. And the former West Torrens player banged it through for his first and his side's third.
13-2 to 3-6. North Adelaide's first goal since the 13-minute mark of the first quarter. So, as Kim told you, 18 minutes in this one and probably a good 12-13 in the last one. Out comes Buckley with the football. Ginniver gave him the handball, but he kicked into the man, as you could see. Perkins back there towards Klomp. Krieg, well done. Gives it away to Bradley Ryan. Works hard for the ball again towards centre wing. It was Sanders, not Ryan. Rowan Smith through. Chalmers lopes to the ball. Thought about Ginniver, but gee, the big fellow's flexible, very mobile as he puts the ball back towards the half-forward line. Parsons gave it to Krieg, up to Bennett. It's only Port Adelaide, northeast. Short to Buckley. Buckley will give it to... Oh, intercepted brilliantly by Mark Marshall. North into attack now. Outsteams Holland, thumped away. Atkinson should be first there. Sims has got to put in a Shepherd. But Atkinson can't hold his feet. And he's out of play, or at least the ball is half-forward left flank.
And Mickey Noonan's made a move. He's got Nick Holland at full forward at the moment, unless he's changing his ruckman at full forward, but it's definitely Parsons having his first run on the ball. Holland, number 26 at full forward. Delaney looking after that player, and Parsons having his first run on the ball. Hasn't had a lot of football, so I can't imagine he'll have a lot of run on his legs, especially with the conditions a little heavy. Smith flicks it back. Ginniver over the top to Smith. Through solidly Barrett. Loose ball to Ginniver. Over the top to Abernathy. He really is enjoying himself today. Beautiful pass to find Williams. Oh, the Magpies, they look good as Stephen gets it to brother Mark, and great commitment by Borlays, couldn't take it. Abernathy there again. This time he centres the ball with kick number 11. Hutton is there, unfavourable bounce. Mark Marshall gets it over towards Bradley Ryan. He in turn puts it to Hamilton, who had to go back towards Ryan. Eventually they get a kick away, and it is all Kim Klomp, the captain.
Klomp through the centre line, gives it to the runner. Out in front there now is Noonan. Noonan goes to the half-forward line. Mancini cleverly around, 45 out. He's going to give it a ride. Not a bad-looking kick, but it's across the face of goal and well taken in defence. Delaney got it from Razonico. Was it in defence? Burton, Biarchi, Port Adelaide with method. The centre wing, but it's not well distributed. It wasn't. It was Chalmers who gave it away to Delaney. Sims has got to work hard. Well done, Buckley. He had the courage. Mancini. Sims looking for the football, and the umpire's going to come and ball it up on the attacking corner of the big centre square for North Adelaide. 13-2 plays, 3-6, 22 into the second quarter. Port by plenty. And gee, they're doing it oh so well. Perhaps that's why they've only lost 2 games for the season. Atkinson. Oh, dummies out of that one beautifully. Mancini, Krieg on his wrong leg, gives it a chance with his right leg. Hits the woodwork. I'm not sure whether Chalmers got his hands to it as well, but whatever, only a point will be registered.
And what sun we had here at the Prospect Oval has certainly disappeared. The breeze has picked up and it is very chilly here.
And you've got your coat on. Haven't you got one? I've got it off.
I left it in the car, Daisy, but I can assure you I'll be getting it at half-time. Loose ball, race for pace. Let's see who's there first. It's Borlays. He tried to flick it back, hit the legs there at Bradley Ryan. He picks it up easily, drives it in long. They need a couple of quick goals before the siren sounds in this second term. The loose ball goes out to Rowan Smith. This will be kick number 9 if he decides to do that, which he does. He had no one to kick it to. Rod Saunders is back there. He's been fairly quiet. Gets it over towards Krieg. Krieg's tried hard, but he's had his colours lowered at this stage by Buckley. That was kick number 9 for Peter Krieg. The ball goes centre field. Ginniver always works hard. Out towards Stephen Williams. The Magpies just persistently push the ball forward. That was beautifully done by Darren Smith and cleverly distributed out towards Mark Williams. Opportunity Tyler. He kicked 3 in the first term. Gerke's done a better job in this second. Now the handball from Saunders. Abernathy's there. Smith takes it, puts it into Rowan Smith. He's tackled. That's nearly holding the ball. Play on the call, the correct decision. Saunders again to Atkinson. North's best. Out towards Perkins. He's been beaten by Darren Smith. That's a lovely kick, though, out towards Mancini. Mancini's been a try. That's got to be... Oh, no free kick. Gee whiz, he was nearly decapitated. Umpire indicated he ducked his head, but he was on the ground anyway. Had to be a free kick. Won't make a lot of difference to the scoreline, but it's a free that should have gone to the Roosters. Now the ball socket off the ground, picked up by Hutton again. Well, tripped. Yes, free kick.
I don't think the North Adelaide crowd would be overly happy with that. I agree with you, Kim. But nevertheless, you know, the luck usually goes with the winning side, and there's no doubt at all that Port are in a class of their own this afternoon at the moment.
They're showing a clean pair of heels. Here's a short pass, goes into full northeast. That's how confident the Magpies are at the moment. This is a resolute halfback flanker. He's up in the forward line, and with kick number 7, he's having a shot for goal. Would have been a big roar if he kicked that one. A popular player. Here's Paul Northeast, but a point results, and that was rushed, and we've hit time on in this second term, with the scoreboard looking very sick and sorry for North Adelaide. They're on 3-7, Port 13-3.
Sims, well put out in front of Hamilton. With him out there is Atkinson, who's recovered from the belting. Hooks high to the half-forward line. Bennett can't. Against the tide there, it was Mancini. Well done off the turf by Julian Burton. Krieg well put to Hamilton. Hooks in towards the forward pocket, and they're taken by Mancini. Now, can he get this one? He missed one before. That's a better kick. Kick number 9, and it's his first goal. And do you think North ever needed that?
I mentioned before, Mancini's tried hard up forward. It's not difficult to pick out the better players for North. Mancini, Sanders and Barrett, and of course Brady Atkinson. This man has very good evasive skills and a good turn of speed, and that's not an easy goal to kick from that angle, but he steadied his body, kept his body straight, and he banged it through for his first and North Adelaide's 4th.
At the ball up, Nick Holland about to come back on, or is this the new lad Soderstrom? Yes, it is. He's about to come on to make his entry into time on of the second quarter. 13-3, plays 4-7. Up towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance again. Noonan gives it away now to Klomp. Klomp's 40 out. Not a bad-looking kick. Hey, they've got 2 in a minute. North Adelaide making a mini comeback. In fact, they've kicked the last 3 goals of the match. 13-3 to 5-7.
Well, we saw a game earlier in the year when Norwood looked like they had it wrapped up here at Prospect Oval, but the Roosters bounced back. Can't see it happening today, but you never know. Whilst they keep trying, they're a chance. Have a look at that. The captain, Klomp, he really put his leg through the ball on that occasion. He saw the opportunity. He kicked his first, and Burton's off the ground. Soderstrom having his first run for the day.
Mark Soderstrom from the Fitzroy under-19s, and then a couple of other VFA sides, has chosen to throw in his lot with North Adelaide, and they can use him right now. Sims, well taken. Rosonico, he'll go out to Burton, who's got a paddock. Abernathy could get it next, off the half-back line. He's got time to have a look for Hutton. Hutton's going to have to work hard out there against Marshall. Mancini coming into the game strongly. Oh, too slow to get rid of that. That's holding the ball. And the free kick will go on the half-back line to Stephen Williams. Value for kicks, man, is Stephen Williams. Always 100% for commitment. Nice looking kick to the half-forward line. Looking for Smith, who can't find it. Well done, Barrett, through the pack as he goes for Peter Bennett. Hughes has done a great job on him. Rosonico playing well. Gives it away now to Aber, out wide again. It's Northeast. The running player out there is Fiachi. Back to Stephen Williams. Fiachi gets it in the 1-2. Gee, that's a hot break, that one, as it comes back to Geneva. Now Stephen Williams. Port Adelaide toying with the opposition. Mark Williams can't make the grade, and the ball is thumped out of play on the half-forward left flank for Port Adelaide.
28 minutes into this second term, so only seconds remaining. North Adelaide 5-7, Port 13-3. The last thing the Roosters want is for Port to kick another goal, but they have it in their forward zone. And they have possession with Brown, who went straight towards the boundary line. The North Adelaide runner is out of the bunker and out taking a message. Not sure how much effect that will have on the game at this late stage of the second term. Nevertheless, someone is going to get a message as we have another bounce, and that someone is Mancini, and he's telling him to drop further down the ground. And obviously the plan there is for him to give some support, as Ian mentioned in the first term, to the big men down forward, and that big man is Nick Holland. The ball is loose, and it is Browns as he gets it brilliantly out towards Hutton, who hooks this one back around his body. That's a good effort. Chance for Tyler. Gerke with desperation. He doesn't want his opponent to kick another goal. Did well to get that to Barrett, to Sanders. Oh, good work, Buckley. He was coming in like a steam train, and he smothered the handle and took that one out of play. And what a future this lad's got.
You're not wrong. 13-3 Plays 5'7", brilliantly done young man. It's a pity he couldn't show his talents for the Crows next year. Sims to Atkinson. Well, that's gone off the side of his boot. That could be out on the full. Soderstrom nearly got his first touch for North Adelaide in the seniors. Julian Burton, intercepted, quite well done. Showed some courage there, sets it up for Bennett. Bennett's clear, puts it out now to Soderstrom. Soderstrom with a left foot off the side somewhat. Back into defence. Oh, he's got to pay the man in front. Over the top came Rosonico. Mancini's in front. Probably giving away 5 or 6 centimetres, but he's paid the man in front, and Kim probably the only way it could go.
Yeah, well, front position, it's a very valuable place to be. Rosonico's not happy, and he's almost conceding he did the wrong thing. He could have punched it away so easily. I suppose he could be excused for backing himself in over a much smaller opponent.
Have to go along with that. 35 out. Siren gone. Gee, this is an important kick for North Adelaide. I think he might have hooked it offline. The umpire said 1 point only at the break here at Prospect Oval. Port Adelaide careering away 13-3 to North Adelaide's 5-8. Port Adelaide by 42 points as we commence the second half here at Prospect. North have got big Michael Parsons in ruck. I would think this assumes that Michael Redden won't be taking any further part in the game. Hutton try to get it back to Stephen Williams, who got it again the second time. His handball offline, clocked under pressure. Well done there by Brown. He's still working for the football but can't get it out. Michael Redden apparently went straight into down the players' race into the room as he left the oval. So that's not good news for North Adelaide, who are forced to recast. Despite all that, North kicked the last 3 goals just as well they did at that quarter. Otherwise, they would have been in real diabolic. Off the half-back line. Kick back there by Saunders. Up towards centre wing. Chalmers is there. No, it was Mark Marshall, not Saunders. Chalmers across to Buckley, and he's got it centre field.
So young Nathan Buckley with the football, and he drives it long. That's the way he plays the game, but that one wasn't accurate, and the mark's taken by Stephen Barrett. Well, he can hold his head up high. Bradley Ryan's left the ground. He's been carried off. It looks like a knee injury, and Craig Burton's into the action in more ways than one. He's about to pick up his first kick of the game. He's only had 2 handballs thus far. So there's his first kick, and he puts it up high. That's hard work for Bennett, and easy work for Danny Hughes just to punch that one over the boundary line. North Adelaide 5-8, Port Adelaide 13 goals 3, and they jumped the Roosters in a big way in that first term. 2-3 to 8-2 was the score at quarter time. And they increase their lead by 7 points in the second term. Atkinson, best player for North Adelaide, puts his side forward. Klomp is there, slides in at the football, tries to get the handball to Mancini, who would be one of their better players as well. And if we go through their better players for North, we would say there'd be Sanders, Barrett, Atkinson and Mancini. And after that, unless Ian Day has any suggestions, I think they're very scarce to find.
I'd put Kimmy Klomp in there. I think he's worked pretty hard at the bottom of the pack as he normally does.
Well, there you have it. That's 5 out of their 20 players, and that probably sums up the situation for the Roosters. And that's the story of the scoreboard, 38 points to 81. David Brown drives it in, passes from behind. That's a good mark. Plays on quickly. Out to Sims, trying to get some match fitness. Throws it on the boot. Bennett should mark that one, and he does. Well, you never know, Ian, with the home crowd. If North could kick, well, I suppose, to be honest, we'd have to say 3 or 4 quick ones just to get them within a sniff. Maybe they could be a chance come the last term. Could this be one? They're looking for the free kick. None forthcoming. The crowd's not happy. Play on the call and the throw-in.
Well, it looked to the naked eye as though Brodie Atkinson, he's shaking his head in disappointment. Might have been a little bit unlucky. He went through without the ball, but then again, the umpire didn't see it that way, and he was really close to the action. Ball forced back to Fiacci. Hooked around the corner. Barrett. Oh, Nathan Buckley over the top, had the sit. And that's a fine mark. Puts it out for Aber, who's having a good game. Oh, he lost it. Oh, he lost that one to Marshall. Marshall goes in long to the pocket. Well done, Mancini. Well, as Kim told you, Mancini's had a good game, especially in that second quarter. He was a real live wire around the half-forward line. He's got a chance now to boot his second goal. And North can do with all they can get, obviously. Pretty acute angle, the breeze not as strong as it was in that second quarter. It seemed to have abated somewhat. Mancini's kick is not going to come back. He put it up for the breeze. Simply it wasn't there, and all he could do was nudge a point. And that takes North now on to 5-9. Port Adelaide excellent kicking, 13-3.
Mancini's kicked 1-2 from 11 kicks. Just to justify what we were saying about him being one of their better players. Playing out of a more or less a permanent forward pocket. Buckley with the football. He's a delight to watch this young man. Smith front position, that's a good grab. And it looks like Soderstrom might be playing at centre-half back now. We'll keep an eye on that. And the mark's been taken by Parsons again. Yes, it does appear that way. Matey Soderstrom has gone to centre-half back. We'll keep an eye on it. Nevertheless, loose ball. Atkinson fighting against Klomp. Atkinson still in there. So too Burton for Port Adelaide, but will have a bounce across the half-forward line at the southern end, grandstand side of Prospect Oval. And little Brody Atkinson, amazing what a haircut can do. It makes him look taller. Big fist by Danny Hughes. Greg Phillips pulled out of the side at the last moment. Hughes went to centre-half back. Foster came into the lineup, and the mark's been taken by Mancini again. Too far out to score. Now they should get it in quickly. He might as well drive it to the head of the square where Nick Holland is. Instead, he goes short, and he's found Hamilton. Well, I would suggest if anyone can kick a goal from that rather acute angle, this man can. Pretty skillful, somewhat of a goal sneak. Started in defence. In fact, started in a back pocket. Now finds himself up forward. Let's see what he can do. Lines them up. Umpire has a good look at it, but it is offline again. That's Hamilton's first score.
Yes, Craig Burton's gone into the back pocket. He's going to take ball A's. And Hamilton must be having a run on the ball or maybe half-forward line. Whatever, North Adelaide has to make changes. Simply their first half wasn't good enough. Well, when you have a look at it, it's 15 scoring shots to 16. So, I mean, it's had some play. And if you look at the stats, they're not all that much in favour of Port Adelaide. It's just they've used the ball so much better. In fact, Port Adelaide have had 125 to 94, but North Adelaide have had 91 handballs to 69, so if you average those out, it's not all that bad for North Adelaide, but they're not scoring goals. Rowan Smith, and the umpire will come in and bounce on the half-forward line.
Yeah, just on those statistics, probably the big one, Daisy, is the marks. North Adelaide only 24 after half-time, and Port Adelaide a massive 61. So they've certainly controlled the game in the air as Buckley picks up the football and gives it to Rowan Smith, who chips out a short pass out towards Darren Smith. He goes back towards Abernathy, who curls one back around his body, and another mark's been taken by Mike Parsons. So he's doing well in the back play early in this third term. The kick goes in towards Mark Marshall. They want to move it quickly. They had players running out wide in Perkins. He finds that player. Let's see what happens up forward. Now this is where they've been breaking down. Mancini the target. He gets another mark. Well, he's giving Rosonico the runaround at the moment. That's his 7th mark, and this will be his 13th kick, which is an absolute shocker. No percentage whatsoever going to the forward pocket, and I would imagine the runner will be out very shortly as Northeast drives the ball back. Mancini tries to redeem himself, couldn't do so. Hutton flicks it out with one hand. Ginniver is there, well tackled by Mancini, trying very hard. Sims tackled when not in possession. Play on the call. Ginniver on all fours. Buckley cleverly out towards Hutton, who gets the kick away. Soderstrom takes a beautiful one-hander.
Well, the boys into the football in South Australia. Well done. After 3 reserves games, he's got his first senior game. Out to Parsons on the outer side. Well done, Saunders. He's going to have to work hard to Ginniver. Noonan over the top. Fiachi off the left leg. Having to stand his ground. His Klomp can't get it. Brown will give it to Hutton. Port Adelaide into attack again. Tyler on the lead, but he's going in shorter. Probably meant for Stephen Williams. Play on was the call. Back in defence there at Soderstrom. Out comes ball A's. Soderstrom has got the football. Can't get rid of it. In at the bottom of the pack there is Perkins, and the umpire will come and ball it up. Well, North Adelaide has kicked the last 3 goals, and I've got to tell you, Port Adelaide hasn't got a goal since the 18-minute mark of the second quarter, so maybe North is making a bit of a resurgence. Burton at the bottom of the pack, and the umpire will come in and ball it up again. Port must be just gone off the ball a little bit. Gee, their first quarter was unbelievable. And when they led by 62 points at one stage, we wondered who's going to be looking at our live telecast later on in the afternoon. Sims Gets it back to Sanders. Now he's got no one to kick to at all. He's got to go for the running Gerke off the half-back line. Intercepted Rowan Smith. Buckley gives the lead, but he's going in short now. Into Stephen Williams, intercepted back there by Klopp. Comes back to Sims, and Sims puts it out to centre wing on the outer side, or half-back flank, and it's taken by Perkins.
Perkins with the football, number 15. Pretty tough defender, drops in a short one. The unfortunate side of North Adelaide's play at the moment is they're not capitalising on their share of the football. They're breaking down across half forward. Hughes has done a good job on Bennett, and they've got no one to kick goals at full forward where Parsons initially started. Free kick will go the way of the Pies. And it looks like Danny Hughes may be the recipient. Number 25. He's had a distinguished career. Hailed from the West Coast originally, and then was recruited by the Melbourne Football Club. Played some very good football for that side. Now back with the Magpies. And Mark Williams, talking of distinguished careers, kick number 10, drives it in long. Gerke's back there. Oh, and he takes the mark, and Smith came in strongly. Well done to the youngster, though. He stood his ground. Took it well on the chest.
Richard Gerke gets it out wide. Sims is going to work hard. Well, he got up awfully early. Rowan Smith. Stephen Williams, well intercepted, half-forward line. Gets round on the right foot. Oh, he can't get round this way, that way. Great tackle put on him in the end by Saunders, I think it was. And the ball tumbles out of play on the half-forward right flank, almost into the pocket of Port Adelaide. Smith will come in for the ruck duel against Parsons. Ball A's through, throws it out here now to Buckley. But that's high wide, not very handsome at all. It's out on the full, and the penalty free kick in defence will go to Richard Gerke. Well, Gerke's done a pretty good job since the first quarter. Tyler got the first 3 goals of the game, but since then, he's been almost kickless. Gerke out of the back pocket. Parsons underneath it. With him there is Soderstrom, comes out with the ball, lost it. Buckley again, jams it onto the boot. Darren Smith's got his eyes on it. Can't quite get it. Gerke through again. Burton lost it to Gerke. In turn, the running player is Saunders, and North Adelaide out of defence.
Well, let's see if they can set something up this time. Sanders waits for the ball to sit, and it obliges. Now the handball goes over towards Kim Klomp. He's about 65 metres out. He goes towards the pocket, and once again, one would imagine that Kim Klomp would know better than that. Whilst Nick Holland led in that direction, to me a lead like that should be ignored because it's near impossible to goal from such an angle. So they really are making hard work of their forward movements. Port Adelaide runner out of the blocks. They're about to give a message. Could be going to Mark Williams, it appears. Back with the action. Abernathy over the football. And that's holding the ball. Well, he was grabbing the football. Look at Aber having a big word here. I don't think he ever really tried to knock it out. It was like he was trying to keep the ball close to his body. Nevertheless, Kim Klomp with the football. Aber not pleased. Let's have a look at it. Now he scooped it up. Now he tried to get rid of it. So, yeah, in all fairness, umpire was on the blind side. Let's see what Klomp can do. There we go. Aber would be saying there is justice in football.
He's had a good game. Kicked 2 goals. Socks down. Starting to stretch for those long strides these days. But gee, what a player he's been. Delaney. Ever using his body. Oh, experience plus fine mark on the half-back line. Now he's looking for 50 metres against Mancini. But umpire Tim Pfeiffer, he's been around a while. A police prosecutor, he's unlikely to be fazed by all that. A high kick up towards the half-forward line. Parsons can't quite grab it. Here's a chance, Ball A's. Ball A's now puts it out in front of Mark Williams. Might be too far out, it's one-on-one. Buckley's got it, into Ball A's. He slipped them. Fell into the hole, and he's taken the mark about 25, 30 metres out in front. And Mark Williams' pass was spot on. Daisy Ball A's. Thought that name was patented. But Daisy Ball A's, kick number 8 from 30 metres as edged it through number 3.
Well, that just highlights what we're talking about before, which side's using the ball the better. Port Adelaide set up that attack from deep in defence through a handball from Abernathy. And the ball went to Bowlace. He had time. Look, they had players running. He could have used Buckley. He saw Mark Williams out wide. He'd given Burton the slip. Williams took the mark. Bowlace continued his run, found the loose space and dropped the ball in, took the mark easily and banged through his third goal just to steady the ship for the Magpies.
It's been a long time between drinks for the Magpies. 14-3 plays 5-11. That's a good 13, say 25 minutes, almost a quarter of football between their 13th and 14th goal. But excellent kicking. 14-3 plays 5-11 at the mud scramble. Atkinson through, floats one in towards Bennett, but the Archie came to meet it. Well done by Hughes. Provide the Shepherd. Archie back towards the half-forward line. Geneva. Saunders. Out goes Perkins. Hutton towards his half-forward line. Mark Williams again. Needs support from there. Great tackle put on him there by Burton. Play on is the call, and the North Adelaide fans are ropeable. Well, I think the ball was probably held to him. No question it was the top tackle. And,
Well, Daisy, I'll let you off the hook. That's as much as holding the ball as you're ever likely to see in a game of football. Williams tried to run away from Burton. That was the error in the first place. The bottom line is now the Port Adelaide have kicked the goal. Brown's posted his second. And the Roosters have every reason to feel upset because Mark Williams was caught in the act holding the ball.
David Brown boots his second. Takes them on now to, getting back their lead. Just have a look at this again. Yeah, well, Mark's had a chance to get rid of it, and in the end, I'd have to go along with Kim. Craig Burton was very unlucky, and maybe North Adelaide had a point.
They had a point, but Port Adelaide kicked the goal. North 5-11, Port 15-3. The ball hit off the ground, now taken by Abernathy. Port Adelaide revelling in these rather, heavy conditions, you'd say. There's been no rain here today. We can thank our lucky stars for that. Hutton just struggling to hook that one back with a left-handed handball. Now it's taken by Barrett, who's tried hard all day. He kicks around his body. It goes out to Mark Marshall. Now Plumby's tackle didn't have the football. Play on the call. North Adelaide supporters getting upset, and rightly so. Perkins with the football. Can the break start to go their way? This is where they're breaking down, but there's a loose ball. Sims should give it to Hamilton. He does. Hamilton lines up the goals and can't hook it back. But Mancini plucked that one and kicked the goal. That's his second. What a beautiful grab.
Brett Mancini, gee, the lad's got a bit of talent. He's a live wire on that half-forward line, and well done, Sims. It was Hamilton that tumbled one back. And have a look at this for a grab. He got up high over the top of Brazonico. Delaney there, and he played on for a gimme goal. That's his second, and North Adelaide 6-11, and they're down now by 46 points.
16 minutes into the third term. 6-11 plays 15-3. Can the Roosters bang on a few quick ones to give their supporters some hope? Let's see what happens. They need to start getting it out of the centre. Atkinson at the bottom of the pack. And umpire Tim Pfeiffer will ball up once more. Conditions fairly heavy, centre field. The rest of the ground's not in too bad a condition. A little bit soft. Plump takes it, just gets a kick away, goes to Cree, gives it to Parsons. Players trying to soccer the ball off the ground from both sides. Williams in there. Timmy Noonan, number 38, has been a very quiet player today. He's had just the 5 kicks and 3 handballs. Not what you'd expect from a rover. Just struggling a little bit of late as Parsons pushes the ball forward. Punched away again by Burton. Out towards Stephen Williams. Shrugs the tackle. Wins a free kick for a high tackle. Rowan Smith. How many times has this happened? Smithy won't like that. Barrett took it. Took it well. Smith kept his eyes on the ball though. He was set up by that kick. Now the ball goes out towards Atkinson. Whoa! Tackled high. In fact, it's Hamilton. Did it well. Good crowd here at Prospect Oval as Krieg has the football. Clean bowls for Archie. Taken by Holland. Sims pushed out of it by Delaney. Good work by Mancini. Proceedings starting to warm up a little bit here at Prossie Oval. Now the handball from Chalmers. Mark Marshall is there. Clever work back to Sims. Has some space. He's on the left boot. Unprotected goal. Which way will it bounce? It's gone through. The Roosters kick their 7th. Sims kicks his 2nd.
Oh, what a great goal, Stephen Sims. He's lost his pace, but he hasn't lost his grim determination. And have a look at this. He was looking for a lead. He couldn't find one. Saw the unprotected Cole. Rosonico's getting back in a panic, but he's not going to make the grade. The bounce was okay. Sims boots his second, and North Adelaide starting to fight back. They're down now by 39 points.
Back in the centre, and Port Adelaide 15-3, North Adelaide 7-11. The Magpies go forward. Barrett, oh, another big grab. And it was Barrett that set up that opportunity for the Roosters. That's his 8th mark, and he plays on, puts the kick out. They need Bennett to fire. He can't hold the mark. Hughes is back there. Atkinson from the side. Bennett is down. Burton has it. That's where they've broken down all day. That's across half forward. There's not too often that happens to Peter Bennett. He doesn't look 100% at the moment. Chalmers has the ball. It's a long kick. Setting himself is Burton, front position. In fact, that is Soderstrom. The handball goes out towards Perkins. This would be a pretty close game of football if we take away the first quarter, where Port Adelaide jumped the Roosters. Now Burton has it, hooks around his body. That's a beautiful kick. Sanders running with great pace. There's the short pass, and it's found Atkinson. Well, all of a sudden, North Adelaide just looking that little bit sharper. Short pass, and the mark's been taken by Hamilton. Good work, Nick Holland. Just a chip in, and just inconvenience that Port Adelaide defender. North 7-11, they're on 53 points. Port Adelaide 93, there's a 40-point difference. If he kicks this, it will be 34, and that's reachable, and he's kicked it. That's his first.
Well, that move has certainly paid off for North Adelaide. Hamilton was on the half-back line, and he's moved up into the forward division. I think he's playing half-forward flank, but with Mancini, he's given something North Adelaide, or to North Adelaide, they didn't have in the first half. He's given them a couple of winners in attack, and all of a sudden the Port Adelaide defence is looking vulnerable. Now it's 18 scoring shots to 19. They've still got a 34-point advantage, but North Adelaide certainly are starting to give an account of themselves.
And they have a little bit of time in this quarter to peg them back. And let's not forget that Port Adelaide have the breeze at the moment. So this is a good effort by the Roosters. 34 points down. Smith tries to go off the ground, gets a free kick. In fact, it goes to Buckley. Not what the Roosters wanted. I must admit, I can't see Port Adelaide losing this game. But, North Adelaide, pretty slick side once they control the football. Parsons there. This time he decides to punch away. Not a bad option. The ball goes out to Perkins. He had no one to kick to, so he aims to the boundary line, and he positioned that kick quite nicely. As we approach the 21-minute mark of this third term, 8-11 plays 15-3. Parsons has done a good job in the ruck. Backhands that one, but Williams stole it. That was Mark Williams. Chance now for Barrett and Gerke. Barrett first player there, and the ball's still in play, and the Roosters have possession. Saunders has it, gets the kick away, puts it up high. Good work by the Roosters. Bennett this time, no, he couldn't hold it. Gee, he's just not holding them today. Hughes goes in solidly. Bennett's not happy with that. Parsons will get into the action. The last thing Big Mike Parsons wants, though, was another meeting on a Tuesday night.
Yes, I think Danny Hughes is just trying to fight Port Adelaide up. Klump got the tap away. Krieg got held high, but great smother there, Buckley. Danny Hughes has done a good job on Peter Bennett. Puts it high to the half-forward line. Barrett over the top of Williams. Thumps it back now to Burton. Krieg. North into attack again, but it's not well directed. And it's Northeast at centre-half back who takes the mark. Port Adelaide under pressure, no question about that. Chalmers out there now to Darren Smith. He's well upfield. He in turn will go to the outer side. Ball A's. Now he's got Brown at centre-half forward, but he's going in short to Stephen Williams. The umpire said play on, I think, out there. Saved by Rowan Smith. Back the ball A's. Port Adelaide into attack again. Tyler's holding his ground, can't wipe. In goes Mark Williams, but he can't keep the ball in play, or can he? Well, Tyler has been well held by Richard Gerke since that first quarter. Tyler got the first 3 goals of the match, and he's only had 3 kicks. So Gerke's had 6 and 6 since then and played extremely well. Perkins, Barrett. The bottom of the pack there, it was Noonan. Hard body work, and the umpire will have to ball it up inside the half-forward line for Port Adelaide.
It's amazing when the tempo lifts. It just takes a few players to do it for your side, then it becomes quite contagious, and North Adelaide definitely working a lot harder in this third term. The horse may have bolted. Nevertheless, they're in there trying. Buckley used his body well. The crumbs are picked up by Stephen Williams. He hooks around his body. Players set themselves underneath it. The mark's been taken by Darren Smith. Well, there was about 4 or 5 players there. He stood tall, he stood strong, and he completed a good mark as Abernathy leaves the ground, and coming into the action is Troy Bond.
Oh, there was a lot of North Adelaide defenders there. In fact, Darren Smith took that mark with his feet still on terra firma. Should not have been allowed, but it was a top mark, a courageous mark.
And more importantly, it should be his 4th goal, and a big steadier with kick number 10. Whilst they've got a handy lead, it was North doing all the attacking, and did he miss that? He couldn't have. No, he's kicked it. He's kicked his 4 goals, and you can't ask for much more than that from the centre-half forward.
Well, he had a brilliant first quarter, as Kim told you. He kicked 3 goals in the first quarter. He really gave Tim Perkins a headache. Have a look at this mark again as Stephen Williams tried to hook it around the corner, and that's a full forward or a forward's nightmare. A floating punt high in the air. Now, look, there's 3 North Adelaide players there. And Darren Smith maybe got a couple of centimetres off the turf, get his eye on the ball the whole time. Top mark, top goal, and Port Adelaide edge away again, and they lead by 40 points.
And we've just hit time on here at Prospect Oval. North 8-11, Port 16-3. The ball is thrown up once more. Parsons against Chalmers. Chalmers won the tap. Buckley very quick with that handball out to Hutton. The Magpies go forward again, and Burton takes the mark. A strong one at that. Well played on, run down from behind by Stephen Williams. Fortunate bounce for Saunders. North are in big trouble there. Now picked up by Barrett to Burton. In turn out towards Atkinson. He gets the kick away. It's out wide, and it finds Parsons. About 3 or 4 minutes remaining in this third term. North will have to move the ball quickly. That's what the big chat does, but not accurately, as the mark's been paid. He didn't have it for long. He plays on quickly, Chalmers, so it didn't really matter. Buckley, kick number 20 round his body, finds Hutton. He's had a lot of the football. He's beaten Mark Marshall. That's his 20th kick. Front position, Gerke pushed in the back and seen by the umpire and Kevin Chambers.
Richard Gerke. He has ever climbed back into the game after a very traumatic first quarter. Full forward's got 3 goals on you in the first 7 minutes of the game. You're starting to look sideways. Geneva, David Hutton, he's clear at centre wing, chips out the pass, having to work hard back there. A new player on, Nathan Buckley through. That's not a bad looking kick, that's a brilliant kick. Nathan Buckley boots his first, and Port Adelaide come back with their 17th goal.
Well, that's his 21st kick. He was off to a very slow start this afternoon. I think he only had 1 kick in the first 15 minutes of the first term, but by geez, bounced back since then. He just keeps running. He's very fit. He's so skillful. He kicks a long ball, and that one was a long ball. That travelled all of 50 metres, banged it through his first goal with his 21st kick, and all of a sudden the heat off the Magpies again.
17-3, plays 8-11. What unbelievable kicking in these conditions. Troy Bond is on the turf for the Magpies. Buckley at the bottom. Borlase does that well to the half-forward line. Soderstrom couldn't off. Brilliant tap out there now to Hutton. Thumped away. David Brown, walk-in goal. Ought to be. Got time to have a look. Oh, he can take it home. No pressure on him at all. He pops it through. Boots his third, and Port Adelaide have got 2 and 30 seconds. Well, that's brilliantly done. Actually, Borlase did all the hard work to get it out of centre there. Watch David Hutton, who's having a brilliant quarter. He's had a good game, as Tim told you. But the Port Adelaide forwards could have raffled this. David Brown thought about a handball, had time to straighten up, chip out the pass. He boots his third, and Port Adelaide now go on with their merry way, 18-3 to 8-11. The Magpies by 52 points again. At the ball up. Parsons towards the goal by Marshall. Julian Burton crashes through but can't get out. Atkinson sets it up well. Look to pass off now in towards the pocket. At the back of the pack's Mancini, but Rossonico too strong on this occasion and takes a timely defensive mark. 18-3 to 8-11. 3 minutes of time gone in this third quarter. Delaney puts it up for Brown, who can't quite get there. Well done, Sims. Gives it back now to Marshall high. Port Adelaide back there. Chalmers up over the top. Fiacci under pressure. He'll need Rosonico and/or Delaney. Fiacci gets out of it himself. Great solo effort. Oh, Hughes took his eyes off it. Lost the handle. Coming through. Klomp chips away. And Klomp has got a much-needed North Adelaide goal. Klomp boots his second. And for the first time, you saw Port Adelaide bungled a chance to get clear. Fiacci was clear, but the handball, Hughes had disposed of it before he got his hands on it. Klomp winds his way through, and that is a top goal. North Adelaide move on now to 9-11, Port Adelaide 18-3. And we've played over 3 minutes of time on in the second quarter. A 54-point lead to the Magpies. 18-3 plays 9-11. Close to three-quarter time here at Prospect. Parsons to Bennett. Well done, big Parsons. Gigi's looking better player in ruck. Puts out the pass now on the leaders, Holland. Well done, Fiacci. Delaney. Buckley again. After a quiet first quarter, G's had a brilliant last 2.5 quarter or 2 quarters. Well done, Hutton. Chance to Julian Burton upfield. He'll go in long, one-on-one. Gerke against Tyler. Tyler's got the football. Play on is the call. Out to Darren Smith. Darren Smith tangos. Back to Williams. Williams dummies and he's mowed down into the ground. Well done, Gerke. And Port Adelaide now through Bond. Hooks around. Off goes the umpire. And only a point will be recorded to the Magpies. Siren sounds. Three-quarter time here at Prospect Oval. North Adelaide have fought back and fought back brilliantly, but trail 18-4 to 9-11 on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Well, everything in readiness now for the start of the final quarter. Umpire Kevin Chambers just starting to, or just waiting for all clear. There's still some young spectators on the ground at the southern end, and gee, they'd only be 5 or 6 years of age. But umpire Kevin Chambers is happy now. He's joined this afternoon by Tim Pfeiffer, and the last quarter's underway. Can North Adelaide get back into the fight? Going through quickly. The ball is forced out there by Mark Marshall. Going into attack. Sanders up high in towards the half-forward line. Rosonico through. All well picked up there by Bennett. Gives a chance to Mancini around the corner. But the ball is just offline for 1 point only. Brett Mancini's had a fine game for North Adelaide. And with Atkinson is probably the best North Adelaide player. He's kicked 2 goals and he's been a very much a live wire in that forward pocket. Buckley couldn't quite get it. Here's a chance now, set up by Hamilton. He's moved from half flank, back flank in towards the half-forward line. Rosonico back there, close to the line. But the umpire says it's going to be out of play as Holland can't keep it in. Full forward left pocket throw in. 18-4 plays 9-12.
And just to update the people at home, Greg Phillips was named at centre-half back. He, in fact, did not take his place in the starting 18 or 20. He was a late withdrawal. We're not sure of the reason. We believe it to be a leg injury, but we'll have to check that out further, and you'll be able to get the answers on that on KG's football show tonight.
Kimmett's a groin.
A groin. Oh, well, that's nearly part of the leg. And so it's bad news.
Part of the leg.
Bad news for Greg Phillips, but Foster came in to take his place. Now, we've had 2.5 minutes of the final term. North 9-12, Port Adelaide 18-4. So they've kicked accurately, 21 scoring shots to 22. And if you have a look at it in that respect, as that kick goes goalward, and has it been touched? It has. It's a point. Yeah, so if you have a look at it, North Adelaide, they've had just as many scoring shots.
Yes, they haven't looked the same side until that third quarter that Port Adelaide was. But excellent kicking, as you mentioned. Peter Krieg it was that had the shot, and the ball on the outer side. Well done, Tim Geneva. Off the half-back line goes Port Adelaide. Good crowd here, probably 7,000 or 8,000 people as Geneva goes short. In towards the half-forward line. This is young Bond, who just came in late on that, late in the third quarter. Drives long up towards the half-forward line. Gee, Brown didn't get off his feet, but he finished up with a football. Oh, Hutton's made the break down into the pocket. Loose checking off, quickly out, running into goal. Abernathy, can he get a 3? That's his third, and Port Adelaide have got a great goal.
Yeah, and Abers really enjoyed himself today. We said that early in the game. You could just see he was very animated. He kicked a goal early in that second term, and he punched the air. And he just looks like he's enjoying his football this afternoon, and why shouldn't he? With the scoreboard reading as it is. Hutton was the man that got it over towards Abernathy. He held back on the kick. He managed to stab it through. He posted his third. He's kicked 3 straight, and Port Adelaide just march along on their merry way.
(19-4) plays 9-13 as Port Adelaide get a very important goal. That would dent North Adelaide's enthusiasm somewhat. 19-4 to 9-13. North Adelaide in 4th position on the premiership table. 9 wins, 7 losses. Of course, Port Adelaide all conquering with 14 wins and 2 losses. Top of the premiership table. Delaney, after a quiet start, been really effective. Thrown out. Here's a chance for Buckley. No pressure put on him. Heads towards goal, but he's just going to be offline. The handball was slipped out beautifully to him. Had plenty of time to steady, but he couldn't make the grade. But Daisy Buckley has been an effective player in the forward pocket, half-forward flank for Port Adelaide.
Yeah, should have kicked that one. He did have a few options. Stephen Williams was all by himself inside, running up the middle, but from 35 metres out, you would expect Buckley to kick that. Perkins with the football. Started at centre-half back on Darren Smith and was moved from that player. And that man Hamilton there, he started in a back pocket, now playing on the ball by the looks of it. The move was made in the 3rd turn. Buckley at the bottom of the pack, the crowd one holding the ball. But umpire Tim Pfeiffer, who's officiating with Kevin Chambers, won't buy into that, and he'll bounce. We are live at the Prospect Oval. As Ian Day mentioned, a good crowd here this afternoon. Parsons has done pretty well in the ruck. He started at full forward. Foster having his first run of the afternoon. And going through solidly is Hamilton. And it does appear, Daisy, that Mark Tyler, there he is, has left the ground. So too has Rowan Smith.
Well, as I mentioned earlier to you, Kim, Mark Tyler kicked the first 3 goals of the game. Just a progress score, West versus Eagles, 4-4 West Adelaide, 2-1 to Eagles. The preliminary at Footy Park to the Crows. We'll just get back to that in a moment. As we mentioned, Mark Tyler sitting in the bunker at the moment, but his first 3 kicks were in the first 7 minutes. They're all goals, but since then he hasn't got a kick. Richard Gerke has come back strongly at full back for North Adelaide, and Tyler's now paid the penalty. There might be something wrong with him, but whatever, he's off the turf. We'll tell you more about North Adelaide's woes in a minute. Judy and Burton on the outer side. On the left leg, they go forward, giving Abba the chase. With him out there is Craig Burton, who had a stint also in the bunker. Barrett, back to Burton. The running player is Gerke. Well done, North Adelaide. Here's a chance now. Marshall gets it out quickly to Sanders. A long kick to the half-forward line. Piazzi goes for the thump. Chalmers back in defence. Hooks back towards centre wing. Borlase is going to have to work hard for this. Got it out now to Hutton. Looked like a throw. Burton in turn, the running player now is Borlase. Port Adelaide into attack again. Oh, I think they've overdone it. No, Borlase has got it back. Slips it up for Brown. Brown needs a sit. Under pressure, gives it away to Hutton. Hutton hooks back and it could bounce through. No, just the wrong side as Perkin gets back desperately trying to stop that football.
Had just over 5 minutes of this final term of the Prospect Oval, and that's been the story of the day. Even when Port Adelaide have run themselves into a spot of bother, they've had the numbers at the fall of the ball, and they've certainly been able to create plenty of options when under pressure.
Just going to say, Kim, Michael Redden hasn't reappeared up early in the 2nd quarter. He went straight down into the rooms. That's why Parsons came into ruck, and also 24, who's that for North Adelaide? Yeah, Bradley Ryan's gone off, and he doesn't look like he'll take any part, so there's only 18 fit players.
Yes, Ryan went off with what appeared to be a knee injury. Credit must be given to Roger Delaney, though. Had a sensational first half when he was on Mike Parsons. Absolutely destroyed him. Back with the action, and Hamilton has the football. He drives it out wide, looking for a player in Mancini, one of North Adelaide's better players. But he's given away a free kick there, and it will go the way of Paul Rezonico. And Rezonico's been beaten by Mancini today as the ball goes in towards Foster. Drops what he should have taken. Had time to recover. Steers the ball out towards Buckley. Here's a star, that lad, and he was keen to go on then. Given a reprieve by the umpire. A little bit lucky. Delaney well down the ground. Oh, he set up Foster then. Buckley is there. Traps the ball nicely. Sanders cleverly. Back towards Nick Holland. Pirouettes out of trouble. Drops out a short pass. Very short pass. Klomp tried to do likewise. Not quite so elegant, though, Kim Klomp. Now it's Saunders who puts the ball out wide. Mancini there again and takes a beautiful diving mark. Chalmers holding on to him. Want to be careful. Would not like to give a 50-metre penalty when you're only 48 metres out from goal. North Adelaide goes short. Mancini finds Noonan, whom I mentioned in that third term. A very quiet player, Tim Noonan. This doesn't seem to be playing with the zest that we saw of last season. This will be kick number 6, which is not a big day out for a rover. Let's see if he can steer this one through and put a little bit of respectability onto the scoreboard for the Roosters. He kicks from 40 metres out. He stabbed at that one. The ball is punched forward by Burton, then trapped off the ground by with his foot by Northeast. Eventually, Brown has the football. Delaney going for a little saunter down the field again. In turn, he drops out a short pass and finds Darren Smith.
Smith off the half-back line, goes in short, looking for Buckley. In trouble, gets the handball out well to Borlase. Oh, he ducked into that one. Play on is the call. Player stack up. Darren Smith, well done, got the kick away. Williams makes the break. Stephen tight, needs running support. Gets it out to Foster, good tackle, but still gets the handball away. Borlase around the corner. Burton's going to have to work hard, and he does, to edge the ball back, but it's all Port Adelaide back there, and David Brown takes the easy mark. Brown just the check side of the centre line to put Port Adelaide into attack. Goes in short to Stephen Williams. He's been a very effective and a very good player this afternoon, so too is his brother Mark. Now, who's he going to look for? He just put it up in hope. Darren Smith's there, but Parsons is back on him. Perkins is there as well, and one of them's going to get a free kick. I think it's going to be Michael Parsons, who was all at sea in the first quarter and a half at full forward. Delaney just ran off him all the time and really made a menace, but since then he's lifted his game in ruck.
He looks hurt at the moment as we take a progress score. South Adelaide versus Glenelg, and South Adelaide 14-12-96 leading the Tigers 13-9-87. So somewhat of an upset there, and have a look at that for a big win, well, what will be a big win. Out at Elizabeth Central 22-10, Sturt 4-3. Stephen Trigg wouldn't enjoy going back to his old stamping ground there. As Saunders puts out a sweeping handball to Barrett. It's been one of North Adelaide's best, perhaps their best now. Atkinson very good in the first half. This is kick number 14. Barrett drives it in long. There's a big leap, Mancini again. What a jack in the box he's been today.
I tell you what, he'd get one of my votes for best for North Adelaide. He's been a brilliant performer in a beaten forward line. They didn't have an effective forward for a long time till Mancini, and then Hamilton came good.
He's kicked his third after his 10th mark.
Brett Mancini, what a live wire. Well, when he and also Hamilton, have a look at this for a fly from the little fella. Gee, he got the right on the back there of Holland, and that's a brilliant mark, and he's only about 4 metres out. Of course, he couldn't miss. But he and Stephen Hamilton have given a bit of life to the North Adelaide forward line, and certainly it's helped North get back into the fight, although still facing a hopeless task when they're down by some 47 points.
Welcome back to Prospect Oval. North Adelaide have just kicked their 10th, courtesy of Mancini's 17th kick from a forward pocket. Not a bad effort. The ball is pushed forward. North 10-13, Port 19-6. And that will be a bounce. Now a free kick's picked out, and it'll go the way of Port Adelaide. So umpire Tim Pfeiffer just out there, and Sims and Williams have a few words. Both players not short of a chat out on the field either. Krieg's played in the middle all day opposed to Buckley. He's played a serviceable game, Krieg, but he's been beaten by this young sensation in Nathan Buckley. Chalmers puts the ball forward. Smith's pushed out of it. The umpire saw the free kick. Abernathy wanted to play on advantage, not likely. Darren Smith with the football. He's kicked 4 goals from centre half forward. He spears it out. Brown was there, but the mark has been taken by Saunders.
Saunders to Sanders off the half back line. Peter Krieg. He worked very hard in that first half. He's been quieter since then. But as Kim told you, Buckley's lowered his colours. Delaney, what a superb performer. Through the half back line, goes in short. Long at centre. Now who can he find? He's going looking for Darren Smith. Out comes Borlase using his body well. Gerke there. Soderstrom gives it away now. Over towards on the half back line was Perkins in turn. This is Soderstrom now. No Gerke out. He got it from Atkinson, but it's not a well-directed kick and taken by Nathan Buckley. Buckley goes in field to Mark Williams on the half ball. He's going to have to work hard from here. Can't find the handle. Well done there. Hamilton takes the ball off Williams, but the umpire in the meantime is going to ball it up. 19-6 to 10-13. North Adelaide needed a win this afternoon. with their better percentage, it would have taken them into the top 3 if they could have beaten Port Adelaide. But both the Eagles and Glenelg have got better percentage, but they've lost the game in any case. The umpire's given a free kick for in the back. On the half-forward line, it's Holland. Had a run in ruck there for a while when Redden went off initially. Mancini out. With him there is Rosonico. Peter Bennett with a chance. Forward pocket. Check side, but he's check side too quickly with the natural left leg. And it's only a minor score to North Adelaide.
12 minutes into the final term. North Adelaide 10-14. Port Adelaide 19-6. There's been some tremendous skills displayed here at the Prospect Oval today, mainly by Port Adelaide. There's been some sensational passages of play, and Delaney's been one of the stars, and Danny Hughes has done a pretty good job. Buckley, there he is again, and I can assure you this man has featured in many. On the defensive side of wing, he's taken 13 marks, and that's his 24th kick. He put it out looking for ball ace. It was nearly out of bounds off the full, and that's what Soderstrom is asking for. Playing his first game, former Fitzroy Jr. is number 8 for North Adelaide. Throw in across the half-forward line in front of the grandstand here, the members stand at Prospect Oval. Borlase is there. Over the top of it is Sanders. And a great player over the years for North Adelaide. Northeast tried to claim it from behind. Krieg over the top, the former Central captain. Now in there is Buckley, very good handball, out towards Stephen Williams, to brother Mark. The lead applied by Darren Smith, now playing at full forward. Smith up high, over his head. Loose ball taken by Saunders, in towards Barrett, one of North's better players, as I mentioned. In turn, Perkins has the football. He puts it out wide to Quant, who's tried hard today. Has one to beat in Northeast. Did it? No, he didn't, but he managed to get the handball away. That one goes back from Bennett, I think it was, to Noonan, out towards Marshall. Great tackle there by Bond, Troy Bond. Now the crumb's picked up by Burton, and Rosonico has the football and drops out a short pass to Hutton.
Port Adelaide's desperation football. Hughes had a good day on Bennett. The handball's not good. Atkinson gets it back now to Peter Bennett. Round the corner, Sims. Or took his eye off the football. Now they're going to have to work hard. He's clear. 45 out. Gives it a ride. The umpire said it's home. Sims boots his third, and North Adelaide still working hard here at Prospect.
And Stephen Sims made the mistake, but he's been around for a long time. He didn't panic. It was Atkinson that gave it to Bennett. He saw Sims. Now have a look at that. He took his eyes off the ball, had plenty of time. They knew he had one player to beat. That was Delaney. Once he got past him, he steadied the body, drove straight at goal, and he kicked his third goal. In fact, his last 2 kicks have brought up majors.
At the ball up, it will be 19-6, plays 11-14, 25 scoring shots each. So it gives you an idea how the Magpies have been far more effective. Northeast has worked hard. Bennett's come strongly into the game since being beaten in that first half. Hamilton looks for Krieg, getting back with him. Foster shakes the tackle, puts out the pass. Mancini! Oh, dropped what he should have eaten. Away comes Delaney. Burton out there. Fiacci runs into trouble. Burton gets it back in the double play, but lost it. Well played, North Adelaide. Krieg clear. Chips out a pass now in towards Holland on the lead. And that's a good mark, big fellow. Well, he's only about 25 out. He came into the game early in that second quarter when Michael Redden went down what we think is a knee injury, and it was bad luck for North Adelaide. Went into a ruck for a while, but then he swapped with Michael Parsons, who was playing full forward. And as we mentioned, Parsons has played well in the ruck. It's only his 4th kick, and is it going to be his first goal? It certainly is.
So as Ian mentioned, Nick Holland, only 4 kicks for the day, has posted his first goal, and it came at the, where are we, nearly 17.5 minute mark of this final term. So North Adelaide, well, they've stuck to their guns, but they've been in a lot of trouble today. They were jumped at the start. They just haven't been able to get back into this game. There we see Holland. It was a good kick. He leant back on it a little, but he steered it through the middle.
The Magpies by 34 points, 19-6, plays 12-14. Gee, North were in a hole in that first quarter, but they've come back strongly like a good side should. Brown sends it into attack. Into the pocket goes Aber. He's kicked a couple of great goals this afternoon. He's in trouble now, or is he? He's just made it number 4. Oh, the Abbers done it well. Great stuff by Port Adelaide as they boot their 20th goal.
And the crowd really enjoys seeing one of their stars, a man that served the club so well for so many years, having a day out like this. Have a look at this. Williams used his body well. There's the old brigade, the veterans. First back there was Abernathy. He knew if he could get past Burton, the goal was his. He got around that play and banged it through. And pretty casual about that one, but he's kicked 4 for the day, so perhaps it's becoming a little ho-hum.
26 plays 12-14 progress. South Adelaide 16-13 to Glenelg's 13-9. The Panthers look like they're about to hang in there. The Dogs don't have to. They're clear winners 23-11 to 4-15. And at Footy Park, it's pretty close. West Adelaide just by a point over the Eagles.
And I should tell you that is not the last quarter at Football Park between the Eagles and West Adelaide. And here's the score here. 12-14 North Adelaide, Port Adelaide 20 goals 6. And the Roosters have run out of bounds. And Gerke not happy with that. Nor would the supporters be, and nor would their coach. 86 plays 126. Throw in right forward pocket. Southern end of Prospect Oval. Big Parsons from behind. Williams at the bottom of the pack. That's Mark Williams. The loose ball goes out towards Saunders. Made his state debut this year against WA and performed admirably. He's had a couple of bounces. Talking of casual, he's a pretty cool and casual customer. Doing well there is Atkinson. Had a sensational first half. Draws the player in Mark Marshall. It now goes back to Atkins. He could have had a bounce. He kicks from just inside 50. And I'm glad to see he kicked that one. That's his 3rd goal. He's kicked 3-2 for the match.
Well, in that first half, he was about the only North Adelaide player that was earning his keep. He looks a bit taller, as Kim said, with his haircut, short back and sides. But he must be one of the contenders for the Magarey medal because he's had a brilliant season with North Adelaide. He's already won a reserves medal, but I would think Nathan Buckley, who's playing in opposition to him today, would have a mortgage on it at the moment. Certainly he'd be odds-on favourite, but that was a top goal from young Atkinson.
Yes, you'd like to have a few dollars on what the odds would have been on Buckley at the start of the season. Who's to know how he would blossom like he has this year. He's matured so quickly. We're at the 20-minute mark of the final term. Burton's taken a mark. Started off in the forward pocket, didn't get a kick, was removed from the ground, now finds himself in defence. The Roosters transferred play to the outer side. The kick finds Burton. He goes with a low handle out towards Hutton, one of Port Adelaide's best, just keeps finding the football. David Hutton, one of the gentlemen of the game. And this man would be resigned to defeat at the moment. He still would not be pleased about a few of the things that are happening out there at the moment. As I mentioned, we've had 21 minutes. Northeast with the football. Back to Denny Hughes. He'd enjoy playing at centre-half back today, getting into the action a little bit more. Darren Smith hooks around his body. They're doing it easily. Stephen Williams has the ball. He'll look for his brother, Mark. It was pretty obvious, that one. Mark underneath it, but Gerke doing a good job. Williams will try and paddle it back. Now he does so, but it goes as far as Hamilton. Hamilton crosses play again, and he goes to Saunders, who puts that one up very high to Burton. He needs support, but goes straight for the boundary line. Port Adelaide players appealing for the free kick. The umpires won't buy into that. And rather cold, but happy, Port Adelaide bunker.
Just wonder how John Cahill feels. We might ask him after the game if we can get hold of him. He was 62 points up at one stage, 10 goals. And if I know John, he would have liked that to have gone on to 20 goals. Saunders in against the Tide, but the umpire's going to ball it up. Interesting spectator here this afternoon was former West Adelaide coach Kevin Morris. He's been sitting at the back of the stand. Obviously watched the Bombers get mauled by Collingwood last night, then come to have a little look and see what's going on. I would think he'd have to be impressed by Nathan Buckley, but of course I don't think he's going to get an opportunity to get to him. Barrett, oh, great tackle. That's the second marvellous tackle put on by Troy Bond. He ran down, I'm not sure whether it was Trevor Sims or Brodie Atkinson earlier, but that's another marvellous tackle, although he may have had one hand holding the ball to him. Chalmers going through his clock, working hard for the football as Gerke gives it over to Burton. Stephen Hamilton. Oh, what balance, but he lost the football. The umpire said holding the ball. Well, it might have been a throw. I think he might have been a bit unlucky to have holding the ball. No one really appeared to have hold of him. Let's have a look at it again. Well, they had hold of his legs. Fair enough. Maybe it was, but whatever. It's going to be Mark Williams having a shot at the woodwork. Well, it's a cute angle, 60 degrees, not easy here at Prospect. Not easy anywhere You make the distance comfortably, but he's the wrong side. Only 1 point, and North Adelaide seem to be happy about that. I think a little while ago I called it Trevor Sims. I think he played for Sturt before you were born, Kim, wasn't it?
I reckon I played against him, so thanks very much, Daisy. Yes, Trevor Sims. He was a ruckman defender, receding gentleman from memory, and may have worn number 4.
You're dead right. It wasn't before you were born. You're dead right, number 4. And of course, I was referring to Stephen Sims.
And we just want to delve into those numbers a little bit more. There was another player that wore number 4 for Sturt who was an out-and-out champion, and that was Roger Rigney. And that was going back a long time, to the 60s. But here at Prospect Oval, it's North Adelaide going forward, and the ball's out there with Brody Atkinson. And you're right, Daisy, he does look a bit taller with that short haircut. The handball goes over the top towards Mark Marshall. He puts the ball inside 50. Mancini's 3 deep. That was ambitious. Nick Holland just a little tip towards goal, and he's kicked his second.
Well, you just wonder. North Adelaide, since that first quarter when they were terribly lethargic and Port Adelaide just took the ball off them at every opportunity, they were far more direct. North couldn't find a winner in attack, but since then, gee, they've taken it right up to Port Adelaide, and certainly that first quarter belied their position where they are on the premiership table, and that's third. But whatever it is, they've done very well in these last 3 quarters.
Back in the centre, North Adelaide 14-14. They haven't stopped trying. Port 20 goals, 7. But time will beat North Adelaide here at the Prospect Oval, and the free kick goes the way of David Hutton. He was held when not in possession. The ball put out towards Buckley. Good work by Saunders. Had a useful second half. Puts a saddle there on a Port Adelaide player in Mark Williams, with no free kick. Now, what's Mark Williams when he gets up? No, he's going to take that one lying down. Just as well scores weren't close. I could guarantee you'd have a word to say. Parsons to do the ruck. Look at the spring in Buckley's legs, and we're 25 minutes into the final term on a heavy ground, and he's doing the ruck work. The ball taken by Barrett. Perkins puts it back towards centre. Front position there is Clont. Stolen off hands by Parsons. He did that well. Out to Mark Marshall. The handball to Atkinson. He's under pressure. Pushed out of it quite easily. Good vision there by Buckley. Tremendous left foot pass out towards David Brown. He in turns brings the ball back towards Smith. Over the head of that player. Back there is Soderstrom. He's close to the boundary line. Gerke is there as well. Ball ace likewise. They're just holding onto the ball, looking for an option. That comes in Hutton. He lines up the goal, bangs it through, and he's kicked his second goal.
Port has always got the numbers. They've certainly had the runners, and every time North Adelaide challenge, they're good enough to come back again. Richard Gerke, who did such a fine job on Mark Tyler, but it didn't. It was ball ace. Gave it to David Hutton back from the wing and popped through his second goal, and Port Adelaide kicked clear again.
Final scores, South Adelaide victorious over the Tigers, so an upset by the Panthers, 17-15 to 13-11. Central have thrashed the Double Blues, 24-12 to 5-15. That would be the Blues' worst defeat of the season. And North Adelaide 14-14 here at the Prospect Oval, trailing Port 21-7. And Hutton is about to come up for kick number 30. He's also had 6 handballs. There it is, his 30th kick. We don't see that quite as often as we used to with the advent of extra handballs in our game. Remember, back to the old days, whilst we're in a reminiscing mode, Johnny Burt used to wear number 3 for the Eagles. He was the captain coach, and he used to average about 30 kicks every week.
Kim, what number did I wear?
Gee, Daisy, you've got me there. I feel a little embarrassed. I should know that. 19, I reckon it was.
Hey, I think you were told by somebody in the van, but he was spot on. He must have been a South Adelaide supporter. That was in my last year of football, but I wore a few over the years for sure.
Oh, I had a flash.
You were number 17, were you?
Thank you, Daisy. And the ball is with Mark Williams as he lines up for a goal. Has he kicked it this time? No, he hasn't. He's kicked 2 points for the day, and he's had 16 kicks and 6 handballs today, Mark Williams. But Port Adelaide have had oh so many good players.
When you're just mentioning the fact that David Hutton's just had his 30th kick, and I reckon that Nathan Buckley would have had more than 30 possessions. We'll get that stat off the statistician in a moment, Ian Gray. But, gee, they've had a marvellous centre line, and it's a wonder they haven't won by a lot more when you're getting that sort of feed from across centre. Barrett, I go along with you, one of their top performers, certainly in North Adelaide's top 3 players as he puts it out wide. On the lead out there now is Timmy Noonan. Had one of his quieter days. Slips out a nice handball. Sanders over on the outer side. There is Saunders. Saunders goes now for Peter Bennett, who needs to sit. Flips it out to Hamilton. Hamilton is 40 out. Gives it a right. Not a bad looking kick. Just the wrong side of the goalpost. 1 point only to North Adelaide.
And Hamilton's kicked 1 goal 2 since going into attack in this second half. Just getting back to Nathan Buckley. He's had 27 kicks and 10 handballs. Delaney brings the ball in towards northeast. 14-15 plays 21-8. Peter Krieg, the opponent of Buckley's had 17 kicks and 9 handballs, which is normally a pretty tidy afternoon's work. But as we've mentioned on a number of occasions this season, Nathan Buckley is a class act. Siren should sound at any moment. We've had 28.5 minutes of this final term. Burton's been steady. The handball was smothered. Sims to Sanders. Out towards Krieg. He gets another kick. Puts it up high. At the back of the pack, though, is Chalmers, and he completes the mark quite easily. Brett Chalmers plays on quickly. Very mobile for a big man and a youngster with a big future. He puts it out to Barrett. And I'd say there's no doubt Barrett, Mancini and Atkinson have been North Adelaide's best players. They haven't been hard to pick. And Krieg picks up another possession. Peter Krieg, too far out to score, brings the ball inside 50. Hughes, the destroyer, with a big punch away. It's taken by Hamilton, normally pretty good around the goals. What's he do this time? He's hooked it back too far, so he has a personal tally of 1 goal 3.
Gee, hasn't he put a new dimension in the North Adelaide attacking division? As we mentioned earlier, Hamilton started on the half-back line, but with Mancini, he has certainly given North Adelaide a chance in this second half. Up until then, with Peter Bennett being well held by Hughes at centre-half forward and Parsons being beaten by Delaney, they were struggling. Port just playing possession football at the moment as Delaney will get it next. From the boot of Rossonico, and he could even get 50 on that. I don't know what it's getting all that excited about. Peter Bennett. No, allowed to play on to Hughes. Hughes only got the berth on the turf when Greg Phillips had to withdraw with that groin strain. Soderstrom, there it is. Port Adelaide too strong. 21-8 has defeated North Adelaide 14-16. And when you look at it, Kim, 30 scoring shots to 29. Port Adelaide must have been far more effective and direct.